Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Start Hashirama template. Kaido, you are too dangerous. Chapter 61. Seeing the miserable death of Little Oz, Ace on the execution platform, and the members of the Whitebeard pirates on the battlefield, they all shouted with dismay. This last hit by Wood Clone also successfully attracted the attention of the world. Looking at the youngest Shichibukai on the wall, the picture of how Lin Kei obtained the title of Lord Piercing emerged in the minds of East Blue people. People in other sea areas recalled the news about Lin Kei killing hundreds of pirates in 15 minutes, and the terrifying record of two Shichibukai who stepped on Crocodile and Gecko Moria. Just like the Marine 3 Admiral, this Shichibukai is also a top Logia user. And some people who knew the Logia Sensen fruit felt even more frightened. Obviously, this piercing master has developed the Logia Sensen fruit to an extremely high level. It is obviously just a small wooden thorn, but it can grow rapidly in the enemy's body and kill directly from the inside. What is the difference between this and Hancock's fruit ability? At this moment, Wood Clone steals the show. The 130 action between him and Bartholomew Kuma also means that they have begun to join the war. So, Wood Clone and Bartholomew Kuma jumped down from the wall and began to fulfill their duties as 7 warlords of the sea. Doflamingo, who was alone on the wall, did not continue watching the show and also jumped down from the wall. However, his fighting style is more flashy. He always likes to do some weird poses, and then use lines that are difficult to see with the naked eye, or control some pirates who have not mastered hockey to kill each other, or cut their bodies and limbs come on. But he didn't go on a killing spree because he didn't want to attract the attention of the division captains or top cadres of the Whitebeard pirates. He just came to witness the arrival of a new era. The more chaotic the sea, the happier Doflamingo will be, whose dream is to pull the celestial dragons off the altar and make a mess of the world they rule. Ding! You killed an enemy and gained 2.93% experience. Just when Wood Clone started to join the war, with the help of Nokigao, the warship successfully passed through the Gate of Justice and arrived at Impel down Lin Kei, and a notification sound suddenly sounded in his mind. The experience stock has also suddenly increased to 8.15%, and only 1.85% is left before the 5th stage. It is indeed one of the experience pools with the largest number of elite monsters. If you can destroy all the captains of the 43 affiliated pirate groups of the Whitebeard pirates, as well as more than a dozen division captains, as well as Whitebeard himself, the template of Senju Hashirama, you will definitely be able to unlock amazing progress. Wood Clone was hunting in Summit War, and the main body came to Impel down where countless criminals were imprisoned. Looking at the underwater prison in front of him that was getting closer and closer, a hint of anticipation flashed in Lin Kei's eyes. Laburbs. At this moment, a harsh siren suddenly reached the ears of Lin Kei and his group. I saw a large number of prison soldiers pouring out of the entrance of Impel down. The leader was an upgraded human who looked like a combination of Evil Ghost and Pharaoh, and was also the deputy director of Impel down, Hannibal. I saw Hannibal holding a loudspeaker phone bug and shouting loudly, "Stop the warship in front immediately or we will fire." Shichibukai, Blackbeard, Marshal D. Teach, Piercing Man, Lin Kei, why did you show up? It's here. Ha 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 ha. As expected of Impel down, whose response is really fast. Teach laughed nonchalantly, looked at Lin Kei and asked, "Speaking of which, why don't we just sneak in without using the gate fruit?" Lin Kei smiled and said, "Aren't you trying to recruit companions? Sneaking in secretly is more courageous than attacking in." Ha 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 ha. That's what you said. Teach agreed with Lin Kei's statement and said, "Then I'll leave it to you, Lin Kei." Lin Kei understood what he meant, so he clapped his hands, and the warship immediately extended a large number of branches, surging out towards Impel down like a python. Fire. Seeing this scene, Hannibal immediately gave orders. The cannon barrel installed on the ground floor immediately flew out a large number of cannonballs. The sound of artillery bombardment sounded one after another. Fireworks bloomed. However, when the smoke dissipated, the eyes of Hannibal and the prison soldiers suddenly widened. I saw that all the cannonballs flying towards the warship were blocked by branches, and those branches bombarded by the cannonballs only broke a layer of bark. Seeing this scene, even Lafayette and others' pupils shrank suddenly. Obviously, Lin Kei's wood-style defense scared them. There are trees in this world that are invulnerable and can ignore shells, but they are the precious tree atom. And Lin Kei's trees, which are the product of fruit abilities, can actually ignore cannonballs. Doesn't that mean that he has developed the sense in fruit to a level second only to the treasure tree atom? Is this Lin Kei's true strength? The Blackbeard pirates, who had never seen Lin Kei actually take action, were even more in awe of this guy whose strength and intelligence were extremely terrifying. Teach was also even more fearful. Before you get Paramesha shock fruit, you really can't fall out with this guy, otherwise you will really die miserably. The surging branches soon connected Impel down, forming a huge wooden bridge. Let's go, hurry up. Lin Kei took the lead and ran away, followed closely by the Blackbeard pirates. Wood-style cutting technique. Dark acupoint path. Lin Kei shot a large number of wooden thorns from his hand, which quickly turned into a rain of arrows the size of arrows, drowning some of the prison soldiers, while other soldiers blocked them with shields. Unfortunately, after they blocked the rain of arrows, the ground under their feet was already covered by black mist. The strong gravity, like an invisible hand, pulled them all into the abyss. Seeing this scene, Hannibal quickly escaped back to the prison, preparing to inform Magellan, who was suffering from diarrhea. Maybe he was running too fast, or maybe he was too nervous, but Hannibal forgot to ask someone to turn off the elevator for a moment. So, Lin Kei and his group took the elevator directly to the 6th underground floor. Teach and others did not notice that when the elevator passed the 3rd, 4th and 5th underground floors, Lin Kei's palms hidden in the sleeves of his robe formed a handprint. On the ground of the 3-story prison where tens of millions of bounties and over 100 million bounties were held, a branch suddenly grew out of a blind spot that could not be seen by the surveillance phone bugs, and quickly transformed into the appearance of a middle-aged man. It is the wood clone that uses wood transformation. As soon as the 3 wood clones appeared, they ignored the surveillance phone bug's gaze and followed the sensing technique to find prisoners with stronger physical energy. Brother, how did you get out? Let me out quickly, you can't escape alone, let me help you. Brother, no, sir, please let me out. I am willing to be your subordinate, and I can also be your dog. Quote, before Wood Clone found its target, it caused a huge sensation in the prison. The prisoners who were dying after being tortured all seemed to be resurrected with full blood. They grabbed the bars of the cell and either begged or roared loudly at Wood Clone. Seeing this, Wood Clone frowned slightly, so he didn't choose a suitable test subject. He formed a seal with his hands and spit out a fire dragon towards a certain cell. The fire dragon hit the fence and immediately turned into a sea of fire and flooded the entire cell. The prisoners inside all turned into burning men and quickly lost their lives amidst the miserable shouts. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.03% experience. Quote, ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.01% experience. As the wood clone on the 3rd underground floor began to kill, system notifications began to sound in Lin Kei's mind. However, the experience value brought by each prompt sound is pitifully small. Lin Kei is not surprised. After all, in the 3rd stage, Absalom, which was also at the level of 3 underground floors, only provided Lin Kei with 0.15% experience. Moreover, his body has been modified to have the strength of a beast, with devil fruit as a bonus. Even on the 3rd underground floor, it is of top quality. Now in the 4th stage, the prisoners on the 3rd underground floor can still provide experience to Lin Kei, which is already very good. Soon, the wood clone on the 3rd underground floor returned to the blind spot. With the help of Nokigao, he entered the different space and was relieved in place. Because the prisoners on the 3rd underground floor can no longer provide Lin Kei with experience. The experience stock has reached 10%, and the difficulty of obtaining it has officially entered the 5th stage. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.3% experience. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.1% experience. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.6% experience. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.71% experience. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.45% experience. Ding, you killed an enemy and gained 0.55% experience. After the experience stock rose to 10%, it did not stop, but continued to rise. The speed was so fast that the experience stock quickly reached 20%, and the difficulty of obtaining it entered the 6th stage. From the 4th stage to the 5th stage, and then from the 5th stage to the 6th stage, only a few dozen seconds passed, the elevator has not completely reached the underground level. Because the wood clone on the 4th and 5th underground floors also started killing people. After entering the 5th stage of acquisition difficulty, the prisoners on the 4th underground floor will provide the same experience as the prisoners on the 3rd underground floor just now. The experience of the prisoners on the 5th underground floor is around 0.50%. The prisoners on the 5 underground floors all have bounties worth over 100 million. If placed in the first half of the Grand Line, they are all at least ordinary supernova levels. This means that supernovae such as Trafalgar Law and Kid have also been reduced to about 1%. Shichibukai's level is only about 3%. And this is only the 5th stage. When the acquisition difficulty entered the 6th stage, the difficulty was increased again. The experience provided by the prisoners on the 5th underground floor instantly dropped to about 0.05%. This means that after the 7th stage, ordinary pirates with a bounty of over 100 million will no longer be able to provide Lin K with face. In other words, among the pirates in the first half of the 4 Seas and Grand Line, only Luffy, Kid, and supernovas like Trafalgar Law can provide Lin K with experience. After entering the 8th stage, only high-level elite monsters with bounties of hundreds of millions and more than 1 billion can provide experience to Lin K. At the 9th stage, maybe only Boss can provide experience. Just as the game level enters the late stage, Lin K is about to enter the late stage. The prisoners on the 5th underground floor are like lambs to be slaughtered. Even if they can only provide a weak experience, Wood Clone will harvest them all based on the principle that no matter how small the mosquito is, it is still meat. By the time the elevator reached the 6th floor underground, Lin K's experience stock had reached an astonishing 28%. We are still short of the last 2% and will enter the 7th stage. The prisons on the upper floors were already a mess, and Magellan had already bought into his arrogance. If he had not chosen to go to the toilet, Lin K and his gang would not have come in so smoothly. Thieves, ha ha ha, big figures who once sailed the sea, or legends who have disappeared from history, hello to you. When the elevator door opened, Teach immediately walked out and started his performance. He laughed evilly and said, "My name is Marshall D. Teach, and I am the savior who came here to save you. I need some strong helpers. Which of you wants to go out with me?" As Teach's words fell, Eternal Hell instantly lit up with a large amount of red light. These red lights are the eyes of a strong man. Me, I am willing to be your subordinate, Captain, let me out quickly. Marshall D. Teach, right. As long as you let me out, I will give you all the buried treasures. Ha ha ha, I finally got the chance to escape from prison. Boy, let me out quickly. I will kill Impel down with you. The whole Eternal Hell was in a sensation. The prisoners closest to Lin K's group shouted. However, they didn't know that the moment they opened their mouths, they had already been eliminated. Even Eternal Hell has a lot of moisture. Many pirates with a bounty of over 100 million may not be as powerful as those on the 5th underground floor. They are only divided into different floors because they commit different crimes and commit different murders. The experience of a miscellaneous fish like this is probably similar to that of the 5th underground floor. Looking at the crazy Eternal Hell, Naughty's smile became even bigger. Just when he was about to instigate the prisoners to kill each other and choose the strongest to be his companion, Lin K suddenly walked up to him and said calmly, "Finish my work first, and then you can choose slowly." Good. Teach's smile faltered slightly, then nodded. He knew that Lin K would not let him recruit companions before taking the devil fruit. At this critical moment, Teach did not dare to fall out with Lin K. And after he recruited his companions, he also needed Lin K's ability to help. So, Teach followed Lin K, ignoring the pleading and roaring sounds in his ears. Through the sensing technique and observation haki, Lin K quickly found his target. Standing outside a cell, Lin K formed a seal with one hand, and a large number of branches immediately grew inside the cell, tying up the prisoners who were extremely weak and wearing handcuffs and leg irons, and quickly drained their energy. Sensen fruit. This kid is actually a top Logia user. The powerful people with observation haki immediately recognized Lin K's ability. Squeak. The sound of the door opening sounded. An air door suddenly appeared next to Lin Kei, and a girl with short blue hair came out. Nokigao used the fruit's ability to open the cell door. Lin Kei did not enter the cell, but walked into a different space. However, his arm extended a branch and pulled a rice dumpling in the cell into a different space. Seeing this scene, Teach's eyes suddenly lit up, and then he followed in. With the air door closed, no one knows what Lin Kei and Teach are doing in the different space. Karina, here's the devil fruit for you. In the different space, Lin Kei took the devil fruit from Teach, immediately handed it to Karina, and said with a smile, "This is Zone Dog Fruit Phantom Beast species 9 Tails Fox, which is even rarer than the natural series form." Phantom Beast species. Karina looked surprised and said, "Is there such a classification in devil fruit?" 9 Tails Fox, this is a legendary fantasy beast. Robin slowly explained. Once eaten, the fantasy beast species can turn into fantasy creatures from myths and legends, such as vampires, green dragons, giant Buddhas, Yamata no Orochi, etc., and become these creatures can also use their powers in myth and legend. So smart. Karina's beautiful eyes lit up slightly. Ha 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 ha. The phantom beast is the rarest species, it is the devil fruit that can truly heaven-defying change your life. Teach also laughed and said, Kaido of the 4 Emperors is a phantom beast with the ability to form a blue dragon. The captain of the first team of the Whitebeard pirates is a phantom beast with the phoenix ability. The marshal of naval headquarters is a phantom beast. A person with the ability to form a great Buddha. Once you become a phantom beast type user, you can not only use the phantom beast's superpowers, but also have the physical fitness of the phantom beast. In the future, practicing hockey will be more effective with half the effort. Hearing this, Karina's eyes brightened even more, and she immediately gave Lin Kei a wink, and said with a smile, "Aha. Then I'll accept it without you being polite." After finishing speaking, Karina opened her mouth and bit into the 9 Tails Fox fruit, a species of phantom beast in her hand. Lin Kei didn't wait for her to adapt to the fruit's ability, so she asked Nokigao to open the air door, walked out with Teach, and continued to hunt the second target. After coming out of the different space, Lin Kei and Teach came to the door of another cell. This cell is quite special, with only one prisoner inside, and it is still frozen. Seeing this prisoner, Teach's pupils suddenly shrank slightly, and he became more afraid of Lin Kei's intelligence ability. Lafayette once analyzed that Lin Kei's target is likely to be Douglas Bullet, or some fruit abilities of pirates that have disappeared in history. Unexpectedly, Lin Kei not only knew that there was a mythical beast species 9 Tails Fox form here, but also knew that the prisoner in front of him was not dead yet. Burndy World, Title World Destroyer, Paramesha Grass Fruit Ability User. 2. Although his bounty is only 200 million Baileys, he was already famous in the world 30 years ago, and the world government chose to cooperate with the pirates to arrest him. If there were not too many burdens around him, he would be a human-shaped self-propelled strategic weapon, and he could also be called Little Pluton. Momo Fruit is also one of the top abilities in Paramesha. Unexpectedly, 30 years have passed, and this world destroyer is still not dead. But it's true, no matter whether it's the Marine or the world government, it's impossible for him to die. Sealing it up is the best way to delay his death. After all, if Burndy World dies, the Paramesha Momo Fruit will be reborn. Who knows if this devil fruit will fall into the hands of a powerful guy again. This devil fruit is also highly compatible with Teach. To be precise, the Momo fruit is like the Op fruit. The stronger the physical strength of the ability user, the higher the compatibility. Burndy World is an upgraded human, and Teach is also an upgraded human. This is the second devil fruit that Teach has encountered. Unfortunately, just like the Logia Thunder fruit, Teach can only look but not eat. So with the help of Nohigo, Lin Kei and Teach walked into the different space again. Seeing that they just took away Katarina Deppen, but the other party did not come out, and now they are taking away another prisoner, the roaring and shouting prisoners suddenly had an ominous premonition in their hearts. The atmosphere of eternal hell suddenly changed from crazy to quiet. Seeing this scene, Min Kai and others couldn't help but smile with satisfaction. As expected of eternal hell, where monsters gather, the reaction is quite fast. After a while, the air door appeared again, and Lin Kei and Teach walked out from it. Sensing the breath of eternal hell, Lin Kei smiled and said, "Teach, Magellan is now blocking the entrance." Let me select the strongest people in these cells for you. After saying that, Lin Kei clapped his hands without giving Teach a chance to speak. Boom, blue flames emerged, and the terrifying air waves swept eternal hell. All the strong men who mastered observation Haki felt a vast energy from Lin Kei. They were very sure that it was definitely not Haki. What on earth was that energy? Just when these people were confused like Doflamingo, the whole eternal hell suddenly shook violently. The strong vibration even spread to the upper floors, making Magellan, who had ordered the elevator to be closed and the entrance to be sealed, feel uneasy. As uneasy as he was, there were also the prisoners of eternal hell, and Blackbeard pirates. Countless branches rose from the ground, destroying the large and small cells one after another, and like pythons, they entangled the extremely weak prisoners wearing seastone handcuffs and shackles, sucking away all their remaining energy. However, there were also some prisoners who were not entangled in the branches, nor were they drained of energy. And each of these prisoners was once a big figure who sailed on the sea or disappeared in history. After tying up most of the prisoners, Lin Kei stretched out his palm and made a gesture of spreading his fingers. Immediately, his 5 fingers clenched into fists. In an instant, in the observation Haki perception of Teach and those strong men, most of the life breath of eternal hell disappeared at once. Ding! The system prompts immediately bombarded Lin Kei's mind. Putting down his palm, Lin Kei made another key with wood style, handed it to the slightly dull Teach, and chuckled, "Teach, our cooperation ends here, I wish you good luck." Looking at Lin Kei's back walking towards the air door, Teach didn't know why, but suddenly felt that Lin Kei seemed to have changed again, becoming even more unpredictable than before. Holding the key in his hand, Teach did not ask Lin Kei to take them away together. Because as Lin Kei said just now, sneaking in is never more courageous than breaking in. Although I don't know why Impel Down's response was so slow, it allowed them to reach the 6th underground floor so smoothly. But it also shows that Teach has not yet shown his strong strength and courage to these prisoners. Therefore, Teach is ready to recruit strong people who are willing to follow him, so he tells them his big bet in secret, draws a super pie for them, and asks them to help him win his father's Paramesha shock fruit. And in Teach's heart, she doesn't want to ask for Lin Kei. Otherwise, even if he has the top strength in the world, when he meets Lin Kei in the future, he will lose the initiative and directly outbid Lin Kei. This is not what Teach wants. Life is a big gamble. If you lose, you may die. At this moment, Teach once again showed his heroic appearance. After Lin Kei returned to the different space, he looked at Karina, whose appearance had changed greatly, and smiled and said, "How is it? Are you satisfied with this ability?" Quote. Didi. Karina nodded repeatedly and smiled excitedly. "This ability is really great. Just after taking it, I feel like I can beat 10,000 of my former self." I saw that Karina at this time was no longer the same as before. First, there was long purple hair that reached her waist, but now it has turned into silvery white. And unlike human hair, Karina's current hair is just like Yamato's phantom beast Oguchi Shingami, similar to animal hair. The already beautiful face became even more beautiful, and the facial features became more refined. The beautiful blue eyes turned into golden vertical pupils, and red eye shadow appeared in the corners of the eyes, making Karina beautiful and charming at the same time. If the charm is digitized, Robin and the girls all have close to perfect scores. But Karina's current appearance and temperament make her even more charming than Robin and the other girls. Her hands and feet turned into fox paws, and Karina had 9 golden tails on her back. It turns out this is not Karina's normal state, but her human animal form. It's obviously in human animal form, but its little face doesn't look like a fox. Instead, it's a bit more beautiful than normal. This devil fruit really matches Karina very well. Compared to op fruit and momo fruit, this phantom species, the 9-tails fox form, is more suitable for Karina. So, Lin Kei reached out and touched Karina's head, then held her shoulders, looked at Nami and the girls and smiled. "Let's go, I have planned everything I want, and then come to the world with me, the highest stage." Just when Lin Kei and his gang left Impel Down, the Summit War situation also entered a white-hot stage. Just like the original work, the simple-minded Skuyard was bewitched by a Kainu and stabbed Whitebeard with the filial sword. However, Whitebeard did not blame this stupid son, but explained the reason, jumped from the bow of the Moby Dick, and personally participated in the battle to restore morale. The participation of the world's strongest man in the battle also announced that the petty battle was over, and the next step was the high-end battle. Aokiji and Kizaru took turns attacking Whitebeard, but were soon held back by Margot and Josie. So Akainu, who came back from behind the ice field, took the initiative to confront Whitebeard. Both shock fruit and lava fruit can kill most enemies with one punch. They constantly crack and melt the frozen sea surface. The terrifying air waves lift everything away, and the hot magma melts everything. For a time, even the vice admiral of the headquarters was not qualified to approach them. At this time, Wood Clone, who was paddling in a corner of the battlefield, suddenly flashed his eyes as if he had received some information. Immediately, the sleepy clone started hunting. After disappearing in an instant, the upgraded Wood Clone reappeared in front of a human being about 3 meters tall, wearing royal attire, with a little lion on his head, and using 2 sickle-shaped swords. This man is the captain of the Brody Pirates, one of the 43 affiliated pirate groups, Bloody Illusion Darkness Technique. As soon as Wood Clone came over, took away Brody's light, and then his palm contained Wood-style chakra and haki, and slapped Brody hard on his body. Bang! The huge Brody was directly slapped far away by Wood Clone. While the body was flying upside down, it also made a series of sounds of sharp weapons being inserted into the body. A large number of forked wooden thorns burst out of his body. Brody, who was considered a strong man in the New World, is gone. Just like Senju Hashirama, he can easily kill the veteran cage-level Kakuzu with only one Wood Clone. Wood Clone, which possesses a huge amount of chakra, is not inferior to the main body in terms of combat effectiveness, except that its battery life is not as good as that of the main body. Facing the combination of dark technique and cutting technique, Brody did not use observation haki at all times, or covered his whole body with armament haki. As long as he was touched by Wood Clone, he would be instantly killed by cutting technique, which has the ability to kill instantly. Just like facing Hancock, it doesn't matter the strength, as long as there is no means of restraint, then being touched will mean death. Ding! You killed an enemy and gained 0.13% experience. Following Brody's death, the beeping sound immediately resounded in the main body's mind. And this experience was not beyond Lin Kei's expectations. CEBB, I saw that in the alien space that was exactly the same as the real world, except that the color was only green. There was a huge fox with silver-white hair on its head, its whole body was golden, and it also had 9 golden tails. It was flying through the air. And go. Every time the 9-tails fox takes a step, a flame cloud will appear under its feet, like soaring clouds and mist. This huge 9-tails fox is Karina. Just like Qinglong, 9-tails also has the 4 abilities of wind, fire, thunder and cloud. In Lin Kei's original world, his country and island country, there are myths and legends of the 9-tails fox. On the island country, the 9-tails fox is one of the 3 major yokai along with Shuden Doji and the Daitengu, and is even more famous as the first of the 3 major yokai. In the 2-dimensional culture, 9-tails fox appears in countless works. In different works, 9-tails fox has different or similar abilities. The world of One Piece has 2 forms, the Phantom Beast Yamata no Orochi and the Phantom Beast Oguchi Shinkami. The abilities of the Phantom Beast 9-tails fox are also inclined to the monster legend of the island country, too. As the legendary number 1 monster, 9-tails fox has many abilities. The first is charm. Like Hancock's sweet fruit, it not only enhances Karina's charm, but even the human animal form is not as ugly as other Phantom Beast species, but more beautiful than normal. And this charm is not only an improvement in charm, but also a transformation ability like Paramesha clone fruit. Karina can use this ability to take on the appearance of other people. In addition to charm, 9-tails fox is said to be able to use the 4 elemental abilities of wind, fire, thunder and cloud. It can also emit sound waves that shatter everything, trigger earthquakes and meteorites, and even cause floods, emitting poisonous gas and plague. It is powerful and comprehensive. Lin Kei doesn't know if Karina has these latter abilities. But Karina had just mastered the power of charm and elements as soon as she took the 9-tails fox form. Additionally, Karina has a passive ability and weakness. That means she has 9 lives. Every tail represents a life. As long as she dies once, she will permanently lose a tail and an ability. Every death is a weakening of Karina. At this time, Nami and the girls were sitting on Karina's back. Only Lin K, sitting cross-legged on Karina's head, is fusing the physical energy and spiritual energy in the body to form his own chakra. Because the physical energy and mental energy are so amazing, Lin K took a very long time to fuse this time, and he still hasn't fused yet. If you call up the virtual panel, you will see the progress of Senju Hashirama's template, which has been unlocked 80%. Starting from the 7th stage, the difficulty of obtaining experience has entered the later stage. However, Lin K almost wiped out all the prisoners on the 5th and 6th underground floors, allowing his experience stock to break through to the 8th stage. After entering the 8th stage, although the difficulty of obtaining experience is not as exaggerated as Lin K guessed, it is not much different. However, Lin K did not feel depressed, but was very relaxed. Because in his plan, if you can increase the template to 70% by entering Impel Down, you will make a lot of money. After all, the strong men in Impel Down are all extremely weak beings. Who knows whether the system will judge them based on their current strength? Fortunately, the system did not do this. After entering the 8th stage, the 43 pirate captains under the Whitebeard pirates can still provide experience to Lin K. This means that none of the captains of the New World's great pirate group can provide Lin K with a meridian. As for such a pirate group, New World simply doesn't need too many. The biggest experience pool has never been Naval Headquarters and Impel Down, nor the 4 Emperor's pirates. But, New World. There are a lot of powerful people at the level of Emperor's deputy and top cadre in the New World. Many folk masters also have admiral experience. As long as Lin K enters the strongest sea, he will soon be able to unlock Senju Hashirama's template to 100%, directly possessing the peak combat power of 4 emperors. Even now, Lin K has the strength to dominate the sea. As soon as he entered and exited Impel Down, Lin K's chakra amount was doubled. The chakra of half a 9 tails now is probably not as amazing as the chakra of Lin K. 40 times of feedback also brought Lin K a lot of ninjutsu and unlocked various types of ultimate moves. Among these ultimate moves, there are 2 ultimate moves that Lin K dreams of. First, there is no need to form a seal. As long as the head is not chopped off, it is equivalent to the unseal cure of immortality. This is also the passive ability of the immortal body in its later stages. Uchiha Madara once said, on the battlefield, no one can kill Hashirama. The second one is a status skill that can strengthen oneself in all aspects, Sage Mode. Captain Gaichuki, Captain Agshili, Puncture. Just when Lin K merged the physical energy and spiritual energy to form his own chakra. On the battlefield of Crescent Bay, Wood Clone has started killing people. The body flicker technique, which is more sophisticated than the 6-step shaving step, makes Wood Clone as fast as ghosts. In addition, the battlefield was a melee involving hundreds of thousands of people, and the captains of the affiliated pirate group, who had fewer enemies and more enemies, never expected that a big shot like Shichibukai would not fight against the captains of the division but chose to sneak attack them. For a time, several pirate captains were assassinated by Wood Clone using the combination of illusion, darkness technique and wood style, cutting technique. This scene quickly roared through the crew members of the affiliated pirate group, attracting the attention of many powerful people. Whether it was Marine, 7 warlords of the sea, or even the people on the side of the Whitebeard pirates, they all looked at Wood Clone with surprise and disbelief. Ha! What benefit does this guy get from accepting world government? Doflamingo couldn't help but wonder, or, he really hates pirates so much that he won't let them go since his debut. Any pirates? Those who think the same as Doflamingo are also those who have a little knowledge of Piercing Man. The operation of Wood Clone is really confusing. If you didn't know better, you would think Lin K is Marine. Although Shichibukai is also an organization under the world government, it is said to be a lackey of the world government by some people who have sour grapes. But in fact, they are just a group of mercenaries. Whether it's Hawkeye or Hancock, or even the completely transformed Bartholomew Kuma, they are all paddling silently. They showed no mercy to the weak, but for those who had some strength, they either chose to let them go or kept them to cooperate with him in paddling. So Wood Clone suddenly started killing people. Not only was it trying to steal the show, it was also attracting the hatred of the world's strongest pirate group. Who can guarantee that Marine will really be able to keep all the Whitebeard pirates today? If the Whitebeard pirates cannot be retained, even if Whitebeard, some of the captains and the pirate captain are killed in battle, the remaining people will return to the New World. They will still be the top 10 of the New World. If another super strong person appears, he can immediately return to the ranks of overlords. Faced with such a force, even Doflamingo would not dare to offend too much. After all, he is not the pirate emperor. Dressrosa and a large number of industries are there. If he is targeted by this group of people, even if he has Kaido's protection and is very comfortable in black and white, he will still suffer heavy losses. If they had the idea of killing him, even if Doflamingo was the 7 warlords of the sea, they would have no choice but to run for their lives. So the best option is to paddle. This way, he will not be held accountable by the world government, nor will he be completely hated by the Whitebeard pirates. Therefore, the operation of Wood Clone is very confusing to smart people like Doflamingo. This is either full of hatred for pirates, or a blood feud with the Whitebeard pirates. As everyone knows, it's just for yourself. After all, who would have thought that there would be people in this world who could become stronger by killing people? However, Wood Clone's killing spree really gave the advantage to Marine. The Whitebeard pirates, who were already having a hard time, were even more miserable. The original novel at least has the prisoners from Impel down as a third party, but now, the executioner has boarded the execution platform, and Luffy doesn't even know where he is. Until now, only some elite members of the Whitebeard pirate group who appeared in Crescent Bay have stepped onto the square. There is still a long way to go before the execution platform. Not only do you need to pass through the defense line of the veteran Vice Admiral, but you also need to pass through the defense line of Marine heroes. Not long ago, Margao tried to destroy the execution platform, but Garp punched him to the ground. Facing the pirates, this old guy, trapped by the shackles of justice, has no choice but to let go. Only Whitebeard and Garp's relatives can pass through his line of defense. But Whitebeard had been dragged down by a Kainu, and his magma fist opened a hole in his chest, so his strength was seriously damaged. Whitebeard was dragged, and without the interference of the original Crocodile and Luffy, the 2 executioners came to Ace's left and right sides and began the execution ceremony. Just then, an accident happened. When the executioners raised their swords and crossed them, one of the executioners suddenly stabbed the opponent's body with his sword, killing him. This scene happened so suddenly that not only the whole world was stunned, but Sengoku's eyes widened and he shouted loudly, "Asshole, what are you doing? The slave family is not the executioner." I saw the executioner suddenly touched his face, and instantly turned into Bentham. After saying something proudly, he took out a shell from his body, slapped it on the ground, and smiled at Ace, who also had eyes wide with disbelief. "Ace-chan, Nugia and Luffy-chan are here to save you." Click, boom. Bentham pressed the button on the shell hard, and a terrifying shock wave immediately shattered the execution platform below, forming a huge mushroom cloud. Who would have thought that this little shell would have less amazing power than a cannonball? Only a few people know that this shell is the shock shell from Sky Island. From the executioner being killed to the explosion of the execution platform, it only happened in a few seconds. Even Marshal Marine standing next to Ace didn't react, let alone the strong men on the field and the people watching the live broadcast. I see. Looking at the flames emerging in the dust and mist, Wood Clone was slightly enlightened and instantly understood Rayleigh and Shachi's plan. Instead of a front-on rescue like the Whitebeard pirates, they investigated the Shichibukai's privileges from somewhere, and used their kindness to ask Hancock to go to Mariajoy and help them get the key to the Seastone handcuffs. Then sneak behind and have Bentham replace one of the executioners with clone fruit, catching Sengoku off guard. First use the impact shell to knock down the execution platform, and then use the key to unlock Ace's handcuffs. Sengoku obviously did not expect that an executioner would have Seastone handcuffs. So Ace was rescued in an unexpected way. The flames formed the flag of the Whitebeard pirates in the dust mist, and then a pillar of fire shot out. Ace, who transformed into flames, held up Bentham, who was covered in smoke and his eyes turned white due to the backlash from the impact. He said with a grateful expression, "Thank you, Feng-chan." Ace. At the same time, Luffy's shouts also reached Ace's ears, and even resounded throughout the battlefield and even the whole world. Ace. What is that? Ship. A flying ship. As Luffy's voice resounded throughout the world, someone soon found Luffy's location in the direction of the voice. What was shocking was that Luffy was not anywhere on the battlefield, but above the battlefield. I saw a meteor in the sky, and then a small single-masted sailboat, like a meteorite falling, fell heavily on the ice battlefield below. And the location where the sailboat fell happened to be the huge lake formed by Joe's breaking the ice and moving a large iceberg. Even so, ordinary sailboats falling from such a high position would either be shattered to pieces or have their keels broken. But after this sailboat fell, it did not sink into the sea. It just shook the hull, splashed a circle of huge waves, and then anchored steadily on the lake. This shows how amazing the hardness of this sailboat is. This sailboat is the Golden Mary that has been completely transformed with the treasure tree atom, which has fulfilled Frankie's dream. Luffy, looking at the figure wearing a straw hat on the bow, Garp, who was full of joy, couldn't help but hold his head with both hands, with a face full of worry. But the next second, he seemed to have discovered something, and couldn't help but widen his eyes again. That's like him, there are many people with sharp eyesight. Pluton, Silver Rayleigh, the deputy of the Pirate King, has really appeared. Next to Luffy, there is an old man with white hair and beard and glasses. Although it is different from the blonde hair on the bounty order, anyone with a little knowledge can recognize the other party at a glance. It is the strongest deputy of the last era, the Silver of the Gold, Silver and Bronze of the Roger Pirates, and the Gen, Silver Rayleigh, who is the same as one of the main ancient weapons. Luffy, you. Looking at his younger brother who appeared in a way that no one expected, Ace's eyes widened, and then he smiled helplessly and said, he is still a worrying younger brother. Bao Jizui. At this moment, a huge ice bird flew towards Ace who had just landed. Mirror fire. Ace protected the unconscious Bentham with one hand, and released a huge flame with the other hand, hitting the ice bird like a wave, evenly matched. Taking this opportunity, Ace quickly left the square and went to meet up with the Whitebeard pirates. Ace, is that kid your younger brother? Is the person who saved you your younger brother's crew member? Too amazing, he fooled everyone, worthy of being Captain Ace's younger brother. The captains and elite members of each major team quickly surrounded him, guarding Ace and laughing. Although they did not rescue Ace, they were extremely happy as long as Ace was saved. As long as they can successfully leave Marineford Island, it will be the victory of the Whitebeard pirates. Little did they know that Ace was saved, which also meant that their father had begun the final countdown. Looking at his sons running towards this side, Whitebeard, who was originally full of anxiety, couldn't help laughing and said, "Gu la la la. Sons, all return to New World." After finishing speaking, Whitebeard did not turn around and walk towards the Moby Dick that had not yet been burned. Instead, he input Shock Fruit's ability into Kong Yunchi, forced Akainu back with one knife, and at the same time tore apart the earth and set off an astonishing wave of air. After flying a large amount of marine, he rushed towards Ace and others. Behind Ace and others, it was Sengoku, the Buddha who was radiating golden light and had entered the form of a giant Buddha, ready to join the battle himself. Whitebeard is ready to stop the other party and delay time for his sons. It's so scary. I didn't expect that we would be tricked by a new person, but we can't let the most evil bloodline in the world leave like this. At this time, Kizaru, who had been fishing in the water, suddenly turned into golden light and appeared above Ace and others. He held his orchid fingers shining with golden light in his hands and was about to release his best 8-foot Magatama. Swish. The next second, a slash that was not cyan but dark red flew quickly towards Kizaru. In terms of size, this slash is completely incomparable to Hawkeye's World's 10th slash. But just such a slash forced Kizaru to stop attacking Ace and others and choose to teleport away. Only the truly strong can understand that this slash represents the power of another dimension, Conqueror's entanglement. And the person who wielded this slash was none other than Rayleigh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Taking advantage of Rayleigh's help to delay time, Whitebeard had already jumped high and flew over the heads of Ace and others. There was no longer a sun in front of him. This also means that the strongest man in the world no longer has any worries. Then, Whitebeard thrust himself from the clouds to the ground, crossed his hands on his chest just like when he first appeared, clenched his fists to condense the transparent white light waves, and threw out the most powerful punch since his debut. Paramesha is the strongest and the strongest earthquake force in the world, unleashing it wantonly. In just a moment, the entire Marineford Island, as well as the ice field battlefield behind, were shaking violently. Seeing this scene through the screen, everyone in the world has an illusion that the whole world is shaking violently. Amid this unprecedented earthquake, the square on Marineford Island did not fall apart. Instead, a bottomless abyss appeared, separating Whitebeard from Ace and others in the body shop. Then the terrifying force of the earthquake, with its irresistible power, directly destroyed the naval headquarters in front of Whitebeard, causing the tallest building several hundred meters high to crack open and become the most dangerous building in the world. At the same time, in the ice field battlefield behind, except for the ice surface of Crescent Bay, all the ice fields behind were shattered and turned into the sea again. Not only that, the sea that transformed from the ice sheet also cracked into pieces, one after another, as if the heaven and earth were overturned. The cracked sea also mercilessly swallowed up the warships anchored around Marineford Island, eliminating Marine's ability to pursue them. After doing this, Whitebeard once again held the Kumokiri. His majestic figure stood on the other side of the abyss. Looking at the Buddha Sengoku and the Marine Admiral in front of him, he couldn't help but take a deep breath and shouted, "Little ones, listen. What I want to issue now is the final captain's order. All members must return to the New World safely." Hearing this, Ace and the others on the other side of the abyss all trembled. They turned to look at the father who had blocked Marine's highest combat power, and shouted loudly, "Dad! What's the last captain's order? Dad, you have to come with us. Dad, don't abandon us. Let's fight together and return to the New World together. Gu la la la. Sons, there is no need to be sad. Lousy is just a remnant of the old era." Listening to the shouts coming from behind, Whitebeard couldn't help laughing. Then he clenched his fist again, condensed the transparent white light waves, and aimed at the Marine 3 Admiral and Buddha Sengoku in front, and once again blasted a punch that could overturn the world. Shouted loudly, "In the new era, there is no ship that can carry me." The atmosphere cracks again. Air waves like hurricanes surged out from the cracks in the atmosphere again, spreading forward with the power to shatter everything. If this wave of air is allowed to spread, the horrific earthquake may cause the already scarred Marineford Island to sink into the sea. Therefore, the 3 Marine Admirals did not give Whitebeard this chance, and jointly used the advanced use of armament hockey to form an invisible barrier to resist the concussive power of the roar. Even so, some of the shock force still hit the cracked headquarters building again, causing part of the building to completely collapse. It was the drop of this part that attracted the attention of the whole audience and the world. Then, what is that? It's so big, is it a giant? Hey, isn't this body shape too exaggerated? I saw a huge face appearing behind the collapsed corner of the headquarters building. You know, the Justice Building in Naval Headquarters is at least 200 meters high. Even Little Oz, who is 38 meters tall, is just like that in front of this building. But the owner of this huge face is very close to the height of the headquarters building, with a visual estimate of at least 180 meters. With such a height, let alone a giant, even Oz, who is several times larger than the ordinary giants, is far inferior. Ah, Captain, have I been discovered? Seeing that many people on the battlefield stopped and turned their gazes this way, San Juan Wolf couldn't help but be slightly startled, then looked down to the right and made a sound that spread throughout the world. "Ha ha ha, I can't help it, who made you so big?" The unique laughter resounded, and the familiar voice made the members of the Whitebeard pirates look angry. I saw several figures slowly walking out from below the headquarters building. The leaders were Teach, Lafayette and others. Next to them were the evil kings wearing prison uniforms. Even the San Juan Wolf behind them was wearing a uniform. Obviously, these people are all prisoners. The King of Evil, Alvaro Pizarro and Big Wine, Basque Chote, aren't these 2 great pirates who have been arrested? Who is the other person in that giant? Many people recognized the King of Evil and Basque Chote and discovered that they were both great pirates who once sailed the sea but had been imprisoned until Impel down. As for San Juan Wolf, it has long been erased from history. Sengoku recognized another prisoner who had no time to change his clothes and was only wearing prison uniform, and asked loudly, "Shiryu, why are you here? What happened over there at Impel Down? Where are the others in Magellan?" Marshal Sengoku, long time no see. Shiryu lit a cigar and said with a ferocious smile, since I appear here wearing this outfit, you should understand my choice. As for Magellan, it depends on his luck. Swish. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared not far to the right of the Blackbeard pirates. After seeing the figure clearly, Shiryu and others, who were originally unruly, showed fear on their faces. Teach, who was just about to say hello to his father, had a slight smile on his face. I saw Wood Clone glance at Teach, smile and say, Teach, you are quite fast. Ha ha ha, thanks to your help, Lin K. Teach laughed and said words that only they understood, are you still here? I thought you had left long ago. I've always been here, from the beginning to now. Wood Clone smiled meaningfully, but now, my mission is over. Squeak. As Wood Clone finished speaking, a huge air door suddenly appeared behind him. As the door opened, a nine-tails fox, more than 10 meters tall, slowly walked out. A person with good knowledge can recognize this nine-tails fox at a glance. It is not a ferocious beast, but a completely beast-like Phantom Beast ability user. However, compared to the sudden appearance of the Phantom Beast ability user, everyone's attention was attracted by the figure on the nine-tails fox head. Piercing Master, Lin K. Why are there two impaling males? Clone fruit. No, wasn't the ability of the executioner just now clone fruit? Are there two Paramesha clone fruit in this world? Could it be that they are twins? Many people on the battlefield made incredible sounds. Clone, with that level of energy, it's just a clone. When did he switch with his clone? Or was he just a clone from the beginning? Having the same reaction as those people, there is also Doflamingo who also has the ability to clone. At this time, Doflamingo's heart was filled with turmoil, even fear. No matter which possibility it is, it shows that Lin K's strength is far from being as simple as it appears. After all, just a clone can easily kill the captains of the pirate groups affiliated with the Whitebeard pirates. So how exaggerated is his true strength? Of course, this is not the key. The key is that he offended Lin K and Mariajoy. Is this what the other party meant when he said, I hope you still have the courage to talk to me like this at that time? Thinking of this, a cold sweat broke out on Doflamingo's forehead. At this time, Lin K also jumped down from Karina's head and put his hand on Wood Clone's shoulder. Immediately, the Wood Clone turned into a branch and rushed towards Lin K's palm. It seemed to penetrate into his body, but in fact it turned into a white seed in his palm. At the same time, Nami and the girls also got off Karina's back. The latter also exited the beast form and maintained the human-animal form. They followed Nami and the girls to the left and right sides of Lin K. Looking at the battlefield below, Nami sighed slightly, what a spectacular scene. It seems that the battle is very fierce. Did Marine win, or did the Whitebeard pirates win? Fire Fist Ace is not dead, but Whitebeard has a huge hole in his chest, and from the looks of it, he seems to have broken off his back, so both sides should be injured. Nami and the girls were talking as if chatting. On one side is the vicious Blackbeard pirate group, and on the other side is the handsome and beautiful Lin K group. These two fleets were not only the most eye-catching scenery on the battlefield, but also the focus of the world. After their deeds are exposed, I believe that Lin K and Teach will become members of the Generation of Evil, making the Generation of Evil far more valuable than the original. It feels really good to finally no longer have to be secretive. After taking back the Wood Clone, Lin K also looked down at the battlefield below. In his eyes, he saw Sengoku the Buddha, Garp the hero, Admiral the Marine 3, Whitebeard who was seriously injured, Rayleigh protecting Luffy from behind, and several other 7 warlords of the sea. These people all have the world's top or the world's first-class combat power. A few months ago, Lin K had to plan everything carefully, not daring to expose his identity. Even if you have to let Wood Clone appear, let Wood Clone use Wood transformation. Because as a time traveler, Lin K's narrative layer is superior to everyone else. He knows many secrets of the world, and there are also secrets of the world that are not yet known. Sometimes knowing more is not a good thing. Especially knowing so many secrets but not having the strength to protect yourself and those around you is a bad thing. Therefore, Lin K obviously only unlocked the Senju Hashirama template to 2%, and now he has invincible combat power, but he still has not entered the Grand Line. because compared to these super strong men, he is just a weakling. In addition, traveling to see Circle Calendar 1519, this world did not give Lin Ke time to develop slowly. So after gaining the power to protect himself, Lin Ke began to formulate a plan. As long as the plan is realized, he will have the ultimate combat power to rule the sea, a group of powerful partners around him, and a super who will not dare to offend Lin Ke easily, whether it is the Four Emperors pirate group, the naval headquarters or the world government. Power. Now, Lin Ke's plan has been mostly completed. His combat power has reached the peak of the world, and Karina and Nami, as well as Vivi and Nokigao, have also become top-level ability users. Just short of the last superpower, Lin Ke can immediately become one of the New World's chess players as long as he enters the New World. When Lin Ke thought of this, he felt filled with a sense of accomplishment. At the same time, he seemed to have broken free from some shackles, and his heart suddenly became extremely relaxed. Boom! At this moment, an invisible wave of air suddenly emerged from Lin Ke's body. The air wave was like a hurricane, sweeping across the entire battlefield in an instant. Only those who master hockey can see that a blue transparent light mask expands from the direction of the headquarters building, covering the entire battlefield at an incredible speed. Bang 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 bang. Being blown by the air wave, Marine and Pirate, who were inside the blue transparent light shield, suddenly received a blow to the back of the head, and fell to the ground with their eyes rolled white. There were also many people who felt as if they had been hit by a sap, but they did not fall into coma. Instead, they held on to the dizziness and discomfort and kept standing one after another. Looking at the figure who was unable to control the release of hockey due to his first awakening, resulting in an extremely alarming range, those who barely managed to stay unconscious or were not affected by hockey widened their eyes. Conqueror's Hockey. The same kingly qualifications as Dad and Ace. Shichibukai, you let out your anger wantonly. Lin Ke didn't expect that he would awaken Conqueror's Hockey in this way. He also thought that he did not have the fate of Conqueror's Hockey. Lin Ke felt even happier after receiving an unexpected surprise. He suddenly glanced at Teach not far away, and chose to show off his cards. Teach, do you want to soar into the sky and become a being who breaks the rules of the world? Hearing this, Teach's pupils suddenly tightened, and his heart suddenly rose and he said, you know. I knew it from the beginning. I just didn't say it out of fear of scaring you. Lin Ke had a riddler conversation with Teach and smiled. I'll help you kill Whitebeard so that you can have Paramesh's strongest ability. How about you help me 10 times in the future? Ha ha ha. Deal. Teach immediately laughed and agreed, but his heart was filled with turmoil. Born with observation hockey ability. As soon as he thought of this possibility, Teach immediately sorted out his thoughts and prevented unnecessary thoughts from appearing in his mind. He was not sure whether Lin Ke was a natural owner of observation hockey like the Red Earl, or whether Lin Ke was actually monitoring him in a different space when he was making a big deal for the King of Evil and others. But no matter which possibility it is, he must agree to Lin Ke. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to capture his father's Paramesha shock fruit. Promise to the other party first, and when you get the world's top combat power, you will be qualified to fall out. Lin Ke naturally didn't know what he said and scared Teach again. After seeing Teach agree, his eyes locked on Whitebeard, who raised his fists and was condensing transparent white light waves, preparing to attack here, and suddenly clapped his hands. Sage Mode. The planet's exclusive natural energy, like being attracted by a magnet, poured into Lin Ke's body. The next second, Lin Ke's face changed slightly. I saw red eyeshadow appearing in the corners of his eyes, a red mark similar to a bull's eye appearing on his forehead, and his black pupils turned into gold. The chakra in the body also merges with the Logia energy to become the magical chakra. Buzz, click click click. Just when Lin Ke entered Sage Mode, Whitebeard had already charged up and fired an atmospheric shattering punch towards Lin Ke and Teach. The terrifying power of shock tore the earth apart, roaring like a hurricane. The speed and range were so fast that Teach had no time to absorb it with his fruit ability. He could only stare wide-eyed along with the members of the Blackbeard pirates and watch in horror as the air wave was about to overwhelm them. The same expressions changed as theirs, as did Robin and the girls. After all, they were also within the attack range of the air wave. At this moment, Lin Ke suddenly shouted softly, Sage Art. Wood-style wooden golem jutsu tongue. The intensity of the earthquake increased again, and the earth continued to crack. A huge wooden hand suddenly stretched out from the cracked ground, like an indestructible fortress, blocking the airwaves that could shatter the headquarters building and destroy the city. What's even more frightening is that even after blocking Whitebeard's punch head-on, not a single finger on this wooden hand was broken, but the palm was just full of cracks. But in the next second, these cracks healed quickly, and they were slapped on the ground as if they were not injured. Then the ground continued to crack, and countless pieces of gravel protruded from the cracks, and then slid down from the green wood. Under the gaze of the entire audience and the world, a wooden golem, over 200 meters taller than the San Juan Wolf and the headquarters building, stood on the battlefield as if crawling out of the abyss. This body shape is too exaggerated. Is this the top Logia? Can Sensen Fruit really do this? Looking at the wooden golem who became the most handsome guy in the room, Marine on the square almost sat on the ground without being frightened by this scene. Even the Whitebeard pirates and the affiliated pirates, who were fighting and retreating on the ice field, stopped their movements and looked at the mountain-like wooden golem, feeling the dimensional gap. This is also the first reaction of many people in the Hokage world when they see Susanoo, the complete body of Uchiha Madara. The perfect Susanoo is called the power of God, symbolizing the power of destruction. Everyone in the world says, as long as you see it once with your own eyes, you will inevitably die. However, the stronger the complete Susanoo of Uchiha Madara is, the more powerful it is to set off the power of Senju Hashirama. Because Susanoo, the complete form of Uchiha Madara, has never defeated Senju Hashirama's wooden golem. Even if Nine Tails is captured as an assistant, Senju Hashirama cannot be defeated. Because the wooden golem Arhat also has helpers. I saw Lin Kei standing on top of the wooden golem and shouted again, Sage Art. Wood-style wooden dragon technique. A deafening roar spread throughout the entire battlefield and the world. From the abyss of the earth, a 100-meter-long wooden dragon flew out. After flying several times in the air, it suddenly hovered over the wooden golem. After being entangled by the wooden dragon, the trapped Arhat began to move. He raised his big hand that covered the sky, clenched his fist and smashed it towards Whitebeard below. The fist was like a falling meteorite, rubbing the atmosphere to create arrogance and a terrifying sense of oppression. Even Garp and Sengoku chose to retreat. It's not that they can't block this punch, but if they choose to fight head-on, they will need to expend unnecessary energy and haki. Marineford has been destroyed like this, there is no need for them to protect it any longer. Moreover, Lin Kei's target is Whitebeard, so there is no need for them to get involved. Not only did Sengoku and Garp choose to retreat, but so did the three admirals. Akainu, who succeeded in seriously injuring Whitebeard and was certain that the other party would die, headed directly towards the other side of the abyss, where Ace was being pulled away by Margao and others to pursue him. As long as he kills the son of the Pirate King, Marine will be completely victorious. Whoa, whoa. Looking at the fist that fell down, Whitebeard frowned, then he held Kong Yunchi with both hands, condensed a layer of transparent white light waves on the blade, and swung the air-shattering knife towards the fist above. Terrifying air waves rose into the sky. However, the imaginary scene of the fist shattering did not appear. The air wave hit the fist, and because it could not penetrate into the fist, it shattered the entire wooden hand. It could only turn into a hemispherical transparent white light shield to resist the falling of the giant fist. Unfortunately, the struggle did not last long before the transparent white light shield shattered and turned into endless wind blades, leaving large or small marks on the wooden hand. These cracks quickly healed themselves, and the meteorite-like giant fist continued to fall. A flash of determination flashed in Whitebeard's eyes, and he clenched his fist again to condense the transparent white light waves, but this time, dark red lightning was swirling around his fist. Whoa, 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 whoa. He punched the sky, the atmosphere shattered again, and the terrifying air wave once again turned into a hemispherical transparent white light mask. However, this time, the giant fist did not touch the transparent white mask, and was frozen in the air. It was as if there was a layer of invisible material between the giant wooden fist and the transparent white light shield blocking them. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the concussive force continuously collided with the giant fist, continuously seeping into the wooden hand, and finally smashed the wooden hand like Optimus Prime into pieces. You must know that the wooden golem's defense is so powerful that even the complete body of Susanoo's samurai sword, which can cut off several mountains with one blow, can catch a white blade with bare hands, and can easily catch a tailed beast bomb. This shows how amazing the power of Whitebeard's punch is. But Conqueror's entanglement plus Paramesh's strongest punch, it would be unjustifiable if it didn't perform like this. CEBB. Unfortunately, the wooden hand that Whitebeard broke after spending almost all his energy quickly grew back. Lin K lacks everything now, except chakra. After the wooden hand grew back, it immediately shot down towards Whitebeard. The arrogance generated by the friction of the atmosphere once again surrounds the wooden golem's palm, making it look like it is falling from the sky. This time, the wooden dragon hovering over wooden golem also roared out, staring at Whitebeard below in the air. Once it found Whitebeard escaping from the attack range of wooden golem's palm, it immediately swooped down and swallowed it into its mouth, sucking it quickly, each other's energy. Looking at the palm of the wooden golem that was covering the sky, Whitebeard punched out the most powerful punch in this state. His whole body was exuding white mist. Whether it was physical strength or hockey, who had become increasingly difficult to use it over the years, he had already seen it. Bottom. The huge hole in his chest was also rapidly absorbing his life force. The world's strongest man no longer has the ability to throw a second punch. Therefore, the strongest man who had traversed the sea for decades, experienced the Age of Rocks, the Golden Age, and the Age of Pirates, and was a big shot in these three eras, and even became the uncrowned king of the Age of Pirates, chose to stand and wait for death. He didn't look back at his sons, for fear that he would be nostalgic and harm these cute little devils. It's a pity that wooden golem's palm fell too fast. The world's strongest man only had time to recall his old enemies and friends, and did not have the opportunity to say the last words of the post-New Era like the original novel. Boom! The palm of the arrogant wooden golem slapped heavily on the ground. A deafening loud noise resounded throughout the world. The hurricane-like air waves swept away everyone in the square. Whether it was the marine or the pirates who were escaping towards the ice field, they all took off with their feet off the ground. Even those strong men had to raise their hands to block their eyes, or use hockey to resist this outrageous wave of energy. The entire Marineford Square was reduced to pieces almost instantly. Even the headquarters building, which was full of cracks, collapsed in an instant. The thick dust mist formed into a huge mushroom cloud and rose into the sky. Whitebeard, who received this slap from the front, should have turned into a puddle of flesh. But when the mushroom cloud dissipated and the wooden golem put away its giant hand, it was discovered that Whitebeard had not turned into a puddle of flesh, but was just lying under the ground with the palm prints exuding arrogance, making no sound at all. This is even more terrifying. The Ultimate's destruction was able to kill a person while also perfectly controlling the power without turning the opponent's body into a pulp. This is the power of Senju Hashirama to calm troubled times and convince people with virtue. Let you know how strong I am. When rewriting the map, I can still control my strength and not crush you to death. Dad. Observation. Hockey sensed that his father's aura disappeared and was executing the captain's last order. The members of the Whitebeard pirates who were escaping towards the Moby Dick stopped one after another, turned around and looked at the shattered square, and let out a cry of grief. Absolute shouts. Is Whitebeard dead? It should be. That's right, I can't feel his breath anymore. If he receives that blow from the front, even the strongest man in the world will turn into flesh. Marine also froze on the spot, feeling a little dazed. After all, the person who killed Whitebeard was not a righteous person, but a legal pirate. Like them, there are people who actually saw Whitebeard's death through surveillance phone bugs. If the person who killed Whitebeard was Marine, then the world must be cheering now, and ordinary people would be celebrating the death of the strongest pirate. But the person who killed Whitebeard was also a pirate. That means that after a Whitebeard dies, another person appears who can kill Whitebeard. Not only has the pirate's arrogance not been affected, but it feels like the waves behind the Yangtze River are pushing the waves ahead, and a new era is coming. This sea may become even more chaotic. Ha ha ha. As expected of Lin K, such power is so gorgeous. The Blackbeard pirates came from the collapsed headquarters building. Teach looked up at the wooden golem, which was more than 200 meters high. He felt both ecstatic and fearful in his heart. But on the surface, he was complimenting Lin K. Because he knows that Lin K is now the key to whether he can become the top of the world. Go teach, remember our agreement. Lin K did not stop teach, but said with a smile. Ha ha ha, no problem, just come to me if you need it in the future. Teach immediately responded with a joyful expression, and then led his men to the ground where the palm prints were. Due to the existence of the wooden golem and the fact that the square is now full of cracks, the Marines dare not approach it at all, even Sengoku and Garb. However, the conversation between Lin K and Teach attracted the attention of all the powerful players in the audience. Seeing the Blackbeard pirates rushing towards Whitebeard's body, they all stopped the curious Xing Bing. Could it be that Whitebeard is not dead yet? Impossible. Observation Hockey's ability to sense breath is absolutely infallible. So, what do they want to do with Whitebeard's body? Could it be that he wanted to whip the corpse? Asshole, what does this guy Teach want to do with Dad's body? Seeing this scene, the Whitebeard pirates wanted to cut the traitor Teach into pieces. But Dad is dead now, and they can no longer stay here. They must return to the New World with Dad's last wish. So, the Whitebeard pirates suppressed their grief and retreated while fighting. Akainu took the lead in hunting down the Whitebeard pirates and shouted to boost morale. The purpose of public execution is to eliminate the most evil bloodline in the world. Now Whitebeard is dead, but the son of the Pirate King is not dead yet. Everyone fight with me, don't let them go. Hearing this, the Marines who were in a daze woke up one after another, regained their fighting goals, and pursued the Whitebeard pirates with various weapons. The Whitebeard pirates lost their captain and were immediately at an absolute disadvantage. I'm going to get Dad's body back. To bring Bentham back to Ace in front of Luffy, he has to go back to where he was. At this moment, a palm was placed on his shoulder, and Rayleigh said lightly, if you go back now, you will let Whitebeard and all the people who came to save you die in vain. This sentence weighed on Ace's shoulders like a mountain, keeping him from taking that step. Rayleigh continued, you've paid for your ego, now it's time to repay your debt. Once Whitebeard dies, the islands flying his flag will become ownerless cakes, including Whitebeard's hometown. If you want to repay Whitebeard, then go protect his hometown and lead the Whitebeard pirates back to the top. Ace bit his lip and said in a loud voice, what should I do? Once Whitebeard dies, you will be Marine's target. Rayleigh said slowly, as long as you leave here immediately, Marine's public execution will be a failure, and morale will drop to freezing point, which will save your companions from death. ... Yeah, Ace, you can leave with us. Luffy, who was worried about the whole process, quickly said, the Mary can fly, we will leave immediately. No, I can't leave my companions behind. Ace shook his head and refused without hesitation, and said firmly, even if I die, I will die with them. Letting the Whitebeard pirates and the 43 affiliated pirate groups come to save him already made Ace feel extremely guilty. If he abandons his companions and leaves alone, Ace will really be embarrassed to face his companions, and his aptitude for being a king will never be used again. Rayleigh seemed to understand this, and couldn't help but smile and said, then escort your companions away. Someone will come to pick you up soon. After saying that, Rayleigh ran toward the surge of lava with a knife, and Akainu fought down. Walk, perhaps because he found a surviving target, or perhaps because Akainu was too late to challenge him, Ace chose to follow the advice and led the Straw Hat Pirates to meet up with Margot and others, and escorted his companions out of Marineford. I can't let you leave like this. A golden light flashed in the air, and Kizaru pinched his orchid fingers again, about to unleash his best light curtain attack. At this moment, a voice came into Kizaru's ears. Don't move, Kizaru. I saw a figure sitting on the mast of a sailboat not far away, pointing a pistol at Kizaru. Looking at this figure, Kizaru couldn't help but put down his hands, pursed his lips and said, it's so scary, when did this big shot like you come? It's about Ben Baker. At the same time, Aokiji, who was also chasing the Whitebeard pirates, suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of him, forcing him to stop and said solemnly, red-haired Shanks, why are you here? Are you late? Looking in the direction of the square where the wooden golem stood, Shanks whispered, then looked at Aokiji in front of him, and said with a serious look on his face, I'm here, to end this war. Chapter 71. Ding. You killed an enemy and gained 5.46% experience. Lin K didn't pay attention to the changes in the battle situation on the ice-field battlefield. At this time, he only cared about the notification sound in his mind. Since the acquisition difficulty entered the 7th stage, Lin K has never heard the prompt sound above 1% experience again. Whether it's the 5th underground floor or the prisoners in eternal hell, the experience they provide is not even 1%, many even don't have 0.20%. And now, Whitebeard actually provided Lin K with 5.46% experience. You know, this is 5.46% of the 8th stage, which directly shortens Lin K's final 20% by a quarter of the progress. But it's right to think about it carefully. After all, this is the experience of the strongest man in the world. This experience gave Lin K a vague hierarchy. 4 emperors, no. The experience of those super strong ones should be around 5%, 203, the same as Shichibukai in the 3rd stage. In other words, in the 3rd stage, the experience of each super strong person may be about 10%, maybe even higher. After all, Whitebeard is 72 years old this year, and his physical functions have seriously declined. His slowness of consciousness will also affect Haki's capacity and quality. In terms of combat power and battery life, it is far from being able to compare with his peak period. Although he still occupies the strongest throne, he is no longer truly the strongest in the world. Kaido, Shanks, and Akainu who are in their prime may all have more experience than Whitebeard. The watershed between the super strong and the strong is also the difference between heaven and earth. A Shichibukai like Doflamingo can't even defeat the Imperial Viceroy. Luffy, who has mastered both Gear 4 and 2 forms, needs to be released to defeat Sanal at Katakuri. But the 4th level Luffy, in front of Kaido, is just a piece of trash that can be dealt with one stick. In front of super strong people, there are only 2 kinds of people. One is a super strong man of the same status, and the other is a trash fish. It doesn't matter if that miscellaneous fish is a newcomer or a 7th generation seaman. It is precisely because he knows how powerful the superpower is that Doflamingo is so afraid of Kaido. After all, if the other party wants to kill him, he doesn't even need to go out in person, he can just let Yan Calamity Jin go. Ha 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 ha, it's done. Is this how Dad feels all the time? This power is so wonderful. Just when Lin K was about to call up the virtual panel, Teach's unique laughter suddenly came to his ears. Under the huge palm print, Teach emerged from the black cloth covering Whitebeard's body, laughing excitedly. Lin K teleported onto the palm of wooden golem Arhat, looked at Teach and joked, "Teach, congratulations on becoming a being who breaks the rules of the world." Ha ha ha, I have to thank you, Lin K. Teach looked up at Lin K with a smile on his face, opened his hands and laughed loudly. Without your help, I don't know how long it would take to stand on this stage. Then what are you waiting for? Lin K smiled playfully, why don't you announce your arrival to the world? Ha ha ha, of course, you should also enjoy the performance that shocked the world. At this moment, Teach, who had expanded to Ultimate, immediately turned to face the ice field battlefield, raised his hands and shouted, my name is Blackbeard. Marshal D. Teach. The whole world will remember me as Blackbeard. I will replace Whitebeard and become the world's most powerful person. Strong man. This voice spread throughout the battlefield and through the video phone to all over the world. For a moment, everyone in the image phone bug subconsciously looked towards Teach. The next second, the members of the Whitebeard pirates, as well as the red hair pirates who had just arrived on the battlefield, as well as many strong men with good memories, all had their pupils constricted and looked shocked. After Teach released the emotions he had suppressed for decades, he suddenly assumed a posture of charging up a fist. For this posture, the Whitebeard pirates are not unfamiliar at all, but are extremely familiar with it. Quote. Many people also reacted, recognizing this posture that they had seen many times before, and had an incredible guess in their minds. Don't wait for them to deny this outrageous conjecture. The next second, Naochi confirmed their suspicion. KEP. Transparent white light waves emerged and enveloped Teach's fist. Ha 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 ha. Feel the strongest power in the world. Teach laughed and punched out. Click, click, click. The sounds and images of the shattering atmosphere appeared immediately. The already dilapidated Marineford, as well as the ice field battlefield, immediately shook violently. The square that was smashed into pieces by wooden golem's palm, as well as the ice of Crescent Bay, instantly shattered and were completely swallowed up by the rising sea water. Marineford Island tilted, and the sea cracked into pieces, one after another. The picture of heaven and earth being overturned appeared again. And compared with Whitebeard's two-handed punch, Cheese Punch was too easy. In Lin Kei's eyes, if Teach's previous experience value was less than 1%, he is now very close to 5%. As long as hockey's advanced use is needed, he can break through to the 5% rank. He is worthy of being the son of destiny who has the potential to be the final boss and represents darkness. By the time he and Luffy grow to ultimate, I believe will have been lured out by them. As long as he knows the full background of world government, Lin Kei can harvest it. Ha ha ha. The power of the earthquake that destroys everything, and the power of darkness that devours everything. Standing on the rocks beaten by the waves, Teach raised his hands containing two abilities and laughed wildly. From now on, it is Laozi's era. Dare to say such words at the feet of wooden golem Arhat, which shows how swollen Teach has become now. However, Lin Kei didn't say much, just smiled slightly, looked at the ice field that was frozen again by Aokiji, glanced at Shanks who had already appeared, and couldn't help but turn back to Karina and the girls, and said with a smile, let's go, it's time to leave. Come here to harvest Whitebeard's experience, help Teach capture Paramesha Shockfruit, and show off your fists in front of the world to pave the way for the rest of the plan. This is the purpose of Lin Kei's return to Summit War. Now that these are all completed Lin Kei doesn't plan to stay to watch the show. Yes, Karina and the girls nodded obediently, and Nokigao reached out and opened the air door. After Lin Kei and his gang entered the different space, the Summit War also fell into a stalemate due to the intervention of the Red Hair Pirates and the rise of Teach. In the end, Sengoku chose to take all responsibility and declared the end of the war. Rayleigh, Shanks, Ben Beckman, and the Blackbeard Pirates, there are 4 enemies who are just super strong. Although we also have 5 super strong men on our side, if we really kill Ace at all costs, Garp might really have problems. If all the Marine heroes who represent the banner of Marine Justice Rebel, then Marine will really lose this time. Whether it was for Marine's flag, the mood of his old friend, or the lives of so many innocent soldiers, Sengoku felt that he could no longer fight. Although Summit War is over and the live broadcast screen has gone dark, the world still hasn't come back to its senses for a long time. This ending is really unexpected. At first, they thought that there was a certain possibility that this battle on the top would not break out. After all, there is no need for the captain of the 2nd Division to take on the entire Whitebeard Pirates. Unexpectedly, not only did the Whitebeard Pirates arrive, but Fire Fist Ace was also the son of the Pirate King. This was not a simple showdown between good and evil. Just when they thought that one party would definitely lose, and this era of great pirates, which had been dormant for 22 years, usher in a new chapter. Piercer, Lin Kei revealed his true strength and killed Whitebeard with a powerful punch and palm. Although Whitebeard was seriously injured at that time, the wooden golem, which was taller than the headquarters building, and the product of the Logia Sensen fruit, could ignore gravity and float in the air without knowing the principles and possessions. Whatever abilities the wooden dragon has, are deeply engraved in the minds of the world's 24 people. Everyone understood that although Whitebeard was seriously injured, Lin Kei, the Impaler, did not use his full strength. This youngest Shichibukai has the combat power at the top of the sea. In the end, the rise of Blackbeard, Marshal D. Teach, who captured the ability of Paramesha Shock Fruit in front of the whole world, and became a dual fruit user who broke the rules of the world, shocked the world. After the Summit War came to an end, Morgans, the president of World Economic News, who felt that the matter was not serious enough, spread his findings and investigation throughout the world through newspapers. The title was full of gimmicks, which made world government and Marine angry. Impel down, the ironclad Impel down, the big man who sailed the sea and the solution that disappeared into history. Return to the sea, close double angle bracket. Morgan's raid caught the world government by surprise and made the 5 elders want to pluck out his feathers. However, they also knew that even if Morgans had not done this, the news that Impel down had been breached would quickly spread around the world. This was a scandal that could not be covered up at all. After all, with the rise of the Blackbeard Pirates, those people wearing prison uniforms will definitely be found out. Therefore, 5 elders acquiesced to Morgan's behavior and gave Morgans a copy of Impel Down's monitoring, allowing him to report truthfully. Morgans was very excited after watching the surveillance. In the next few days, Lin Kei and Teach dominated the headlines in the world economic news. Impel down countless criminals. How much does Lin Kei hate the pirates to be so merciless? The secret of Logia dark fruit, the ability to turn extremely unlikely rumors into a 100% reality, the ability to break the rules of the world, capture the devil fruit. The combination of Impaler and Blackbeard, in addition to the Phantom Beast hyphenation point 9 tails fox form and Paramesha Momo fruit, how many devil fruit did they capture? The two main culprits who defeated Impel down were both deprived of the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea, tied for number 1 in the Age of Evil. Bounty is offered to all members of the Piercing Pirates and Blackbeard Pirates, the first record-breaking bounty. The death of Whitebeard, the survival of the son of the Pirate King, the intervention of the Red Hair Pirates, the reappearance of Pluton Rayleigh, the relationship between the Straw Hat Kid and Fire Fist Ace, the relationship between Monkey D. Luffy and the Marine Heroes and the Revolutionary Army Dragon. These news all appeared in the World Economic News, but they were all only on the second page. These news, which usually make headlines, all become foils in front of Lin Kei and Teach. The stars these days are all focused on Lin Kei and Teach. The performance of the two of them in Summit War was really shocking. The former is as powerful as Ultimate, and the latter is an existence that breaks the rules of the world. Even the world government is worried about the relationship between these two people. If they keep joining forces, this sea will definitely go berserk. So the bounty orders about Lin Kei, Teach, and their pirate group were immediately spread all over the world. Lin Kei and Teach's first bounty broke the record. Their crew members were all investigated by the CP organization and reward orders were issued. Piercing the Pirates, the Impaler, Lin Kei, bounty, 1,046,000,000 Baileys, life or death. Little Thieving Cat, Nami, bounty, 50 million Baileys, life or death. Son of the Devil, Nico Robin, bounty, 120 million Baileys, life or death. Nine Tails Fox, Karina, bounty, 250 million Baileys, life or death. Void Walker, Nuauchi Gao, bounty, 150 million Bailey, life or death. Princess Mononoke, Perona, bounty, 118 million Bailey, life or death. Vivi, bounty, 200 million Baileys, only allowed to be captured alive. In these reward orders, except Nami, whose identity was only found out, the identities and fruit abilities of everyone else were found out. Only Vivi didn't have a title or full name, and at the end it was marked that she could only be captured alive. Obviously, either Cobra took action or the world government investigated Vivi's identity and was stuck in a choice between wanted and not wanted. In the end, they chose to hunt Vivi. After all, this was not the first time that celestial dragons had been put on a bounty. However, to avoid cutting off Alabasta's royal heritage and forcing Cobra to withdraw from the franchise, the world government chose to hide Vivi's surname and mark that she could only be captured alive. Before the Lin Kei pirates completely violated the bottom line of the world government and had to eliminate them, the world government was willing to give Cobra this face. As for the Blackbeard pirates, Teach's first bounty reached an exaggerated 1.038 million Baileys, second only to Lin Dianbaifeng. Although in terms of threat, Teach is far above Lin Kei. But after review, both Marine and world government felt that Lin Kei was more dangerous. Because from beginning to end, Lin Kei occupies a dominant position. The opponent knew that Blackbeard had the ability to seize the fruit and had the physique to become a dual fruit user, but still helped the weak, Blackbeard, to kill Whitebeard, and Paramesha shock fruit gave way. How confident is this person to do such a thing? Coupled with Lin Kei's development of the Logia Sensen fruit and his record of killing Whitebeard, people have every reason to believe that he is not afraid of Blackbeard at all. Moreover, the mysterious figures who massacred the prisoners from the 3rd to 5th underground floors in Impel Down all represent that there is probably a force hidden behind Lin Kei, or his subordinates. Therefore, until the threat level of the Blackbeard pirates exceeds that of the Piercing pirates, Nachi's bounty will not exceed Lin Kei. Because they were in a special time period, the two were also included in the list of the most evil generation, tied for no. 1. Lin Kei and Teach have dominated the headlines of the world economic news for many days, and they are tied for the number 1 spot in the generation of evil. These are actually things for later. The time goes back to a few days ago, when the Summit War just ended. After seeing Red Hair pirates appear, Mihawk left the show early. When Sengoku announced the end of the war, Bartholomew Kuma also teleported away immediately and flew to no one knows where. Only Doflamingo and Hancock remained on the battlefield. The former didn't know whether he wanted to stay and watch the show, or whether he had not recovered from the shock and worry. It's no wonder that Doflamingo's mood is so complicated. It's really Lin K who is so good at hiding. Who knew this kid could hide such strength? With such strength, if you don't go to New World to compete for hegemony, why are you staying in the weakest sea in paradise? If I knew you had such strength, how could I dare to talk to you like this? Not to mention Bellamy and Feng Feng. As long as Lin K is willing to be friends with him and be his protective umbrella, Doflamingo will think it's worth even if it gives him 10 billion or 100 billion. It's okay now. For offending a guy who hates pirates so much and shows no mercy, Doflamingo may not be able to sleep well for a long time in the future. No, he has to go talk to Kaido. The beast's pirates must protect him, otherwise if he is killed, not only will the supply of artificial devil fruit be unavailable, but there will also be no one to sell weapons and sea cloth to the Mayora pirates. As soon as he thought of this, Doflamingo used Sky's path to fly away from Marineford Island. As for Hancock, he used his charm to capture a group of Marines while the three parties were cleaning up the battlefield, and asked them to drive a warship that was not swallowed by the sea and leave Marineford Island directly. Just as the warship sailed a long way beyond the Gate of Justice and set off in the direction of the windless zone, a Marine soldier on the lookout suddenly found a figure standing on the sea in front of him. "Lady Empress, we found a person ahead. The other party has no ships or teams, and they are standing on the sea, the sea." Before the soldier finished reporting, he saw the figure on the sea disappear. Immediately, a black-haired young man wearing a white robe appeared in front of him. "Thank you for your hard work. I have been waiting for you for a long time." Lin K patted the soldier's shoulder, and then an invisible wave of air immediately emerged from his body, covering the entire warship in the blink of an eye. The soldiers inside and outside the warship immediately rolled their eyes and passed out. Bang! The wooden door of the cabin suddenly shattered, and then a scream came out. Slave arrow. Hundreds of pink arrows, with rainbow-like special effects, flew out of the cabin. These arrows are very cute and full of girlish style, just like the arrows shot by Cupid. It's such a cute arrow, but it's so deadly. No matter living or non-living things, no matter whether they are tempted by Hancock or not, as long as they are hit by these arrows, they will be immediately petrified. In addition to Hancock being able to depetrify, even the next Paramesha Sweet Fruit ability user cannot depetrify. Hancock did not confront Lin K, but directly launched a sneak attack on Lin K. Unfortunately, Lin K has long been wary of her fruit abilities. Looking at the rain of flying arrows, Lin K disappeared in an instant. Immediately, a huge water Uzumaki suddenly appeared in the sea where the warship was located. The current rotated the warship, and the unconscious soldiers and all the items in the cabin tilted with the rotation of the sailboat. There was an immediate sound of crashing and falling. This sudden rotation caught even Hancock by surprise and caused him to lose his balance. The next second, her observation hockey seemed to have predicted something, or something. Her face finally changed with shock, and her beautiful dark blue eyes stared. "It's impossible." Boom! Hancock's next words came into his ears before he had time to say them. Then, Hancock lost consciousness. Uzumaki saw only the water in the outside world. After rotating and accumulating power, he suddenly flew out a huge water column like the soaring sea currents on Gaia Island. However, the water column did not push the warship into the air like the sky current. Instead, it smashed the warship directly from the bottom of the ship, flying into the sky with the broken warship and everyone on board, turning into a water dragon that reached the sky. Warships are usually large sailing ships, but the water dragon easily ate the warship, which shows how big it is. The water dragon swayed in the air, circled a few times, and then rushed towards the sea below. Boom! Another huge water column rose into the sky. When the water column disappeared, there were a large number of warship fragments floating on the sea, as well as a large number of floating corpses. This move is exactly water-style water dragon bite explosion. Using water style to attack a person with abilities on the sea is worse than using a seastone weapon to attack a person with abilities. Neither Teach nor Hancock could escape the fate of being exploited. Even if he is not an ability user, Lin Kei only needs to add a wood-style sneak attack to immediately catch the enemy in the water and quickly absorb the enemy's energy. This is the reason why Lin Kei has captured so many devil fruits but does not intend to become a person with abilities. When he becomes an able person, his strongest advantage is gone. Instantly coming to a floating corpse, Lin Kei squatted down, reached out and grabbed Hancock's Cheongsam from behind, and then tore a hole open to reveal the hooves of the dragon inside. Immediately, Lin Kei formed a seal with one hand, and a large number of branches immediately extended from his arms, quickly forming a small boat on the sea. Speaking of Hancock, Lin Kei teleported to the ship. While using water style to control the sailboat to leave quickly, he used medical ninjutsu to treat Hancock. During this period, Lin Kei used chakra scalpel to scrape off the skin of Tianlong's hoof, and used the power of Yang escape to repair the necrotic cells. Hancock's delicate back soon became as smooth as jade, fair and flawless. After a while, Hancock also woke up. Just when Hancock opened his hazy eyes, a demonic whisper suddenly came from his ears, awakening the most terrifying memory in his brain. I didn't expect that the famous pirate Empress, the most beautiful woman in the world, was actually the slave of celestial dragons. Quote. This sentence was more effective than adrenaline. Hancock's eyes instantly became clear. He looked at Lin Kei in front of him and was about to use his ability to attack him to eliminate this man who knew his secret. But the next second, Hancock found that he couldn't use his fruit power. Not only because her physical strength had bottomed out, but also because she had lost control of her body. Before Hancock could struggle desperately or try to capture Lin Kei with a pitiful expression, her face suddenly became dull. She stared blankly at the thing in Lin Kei's hand, and said in a trembling tone, "You, what's that in your hand? You, what's that in your hand?" When Hancock asked with a trembling tone, his eyes also trembled. In fact, she knew what it was, but she couldn't believe it, for fear that she would hallucinate. Lin Kei's next words told Hancock that this was not an illusion. This woman, who had not shed a tear for countless years and had been using the mask of a tyrant to disguise herself, just to cover up her inner inferiority, had a line slip on her face. Tears. Lin Kei shook the skin in his hand and said, "Don't you recognize it? These are the hooves of the dragon on your body." The mark on my back is gone," Hancock asked excitedly while crying. If he hadn't lost control of his body, Hancock would be rubbing his back with both hands now. The beautiful dark blue eyes were staring at Lin Kei closely, for fear that Lin Kei would say something like, "I lied to you or I was joking with you." Lin Kei didn't speak, but lifted the heavy seal on Hancock's limbs. Hancock, who suddenly regained control of his body, quickly sat up and moved his hands up and down his back. Through the torn Cheongsam, Hancock felt the smooth skin. It was no longer the dead skin mark that he had been afraid to touch or even look in the mirror. Feeling the touch from his palm, Hancock suddenly bit his lower lip hard, tears falling down his face. After a while, tears wet the Cheongsam, and Hancock's conscience, which was still above Robin and completely defeated Karina, Vivi, and Nami, became clearer. This looming scenery was amplified to the maximum by Paramesh's sweet fruit's passiveness. Even Lin Kei was affected, and he almost made a fool of himself. Fortunately, Hancock was still venting his emotions silently and did not notice Lin Kei's embarrassing side. Hancock cried silently for a long time, and he didn't come back to his senses until all his emotions were released. Then there was no longer the arrogance on his face, but a heart-warming weakness. He looked at Lin Kei in front of him and asked, "You, what do you want me to do?" "There is no such thing as a free lunch." Hancock, who had just repaid Rayleigh and Shachi's debt not long ago, knew this truth very well. Lin Kei discovered her secret, but instead of threatening her, he helped her remove the mark, which must have some purpose. This purpose may be the reason why the opponent intercepted him halfway. But Lin Kei's next words shocked Hancock. Lin Kei stretched out his palm towards Hancock and said, "Become my subordinate, Hancock." Kr. Hancock's beautiful eyes widened, and he did not show anger. Instead, he looked at Lin Kei in disbelief. He suppressed a certain emotion and asked in a trembling voice, "Since you know the secret of my body, don't you think so? Don't you look down on me?" At the same time, Hancock also used observation hockey to target Lin Kei, wanting to see if the other party was lying. As everyone knows, she has fallen into Lin Kei's trap. Why do I look down on you? Lin Kei hit a straight ball, blasting open Hancock's heart that had been closed for many years, and said straight to the heart, "You are so beautiful and so powerful. If anyone can get you, it will be like saving the world in the previous life." Lin Kei's words are completely from the heart and there is no falsehood. Hancock, wearing the mask of a tyrant, is undoubtedly disgusting. Arrogant, coquettish, indifferent, rich and unreasonable, etc. Even Luffy, who rarely gets angry, looks evil because of Hancock's character in the original work. But if someone takes off Hancock's mask, they will find that this is a treasure girl. A treasure girl just for him. If the person who takes off the Hancock mask is still a macho man, then he may have obtained the QNEEPIECE of this world. Just like Hinata from the Hokage world, who came from behind, and Haruno Sakura, who is the most popular female tormentor. When a woman with a beautiful appearance and a personality like Yamato Nadeshiko only has eyes for you and disdains other men, even if you are the enemy of the world, she will follow you blindly and even be willing to die for you. Die. As long as he is a man with normal orientation, he can't help but like such a woman. Hinata in the Hokage world and Hancock in the pirate world are such women. It is difficult to conquer, but once you conquer it, your loyalty will be full and your loyalty will remain unswerving. Even if you don't like her, she will be your world's #1 licking dog. The moment he learned that he had traveled to the world of pirates, Lin Kei had already set his sights on Hancock. No one is more suitable to be his deputy than Hancock, not even Nami and Kurina. Of course Hancock didn't know what Lin Kei was thinking. After listening to Lin Kei's words, Hancock, who had been using observation haki to sense whether Lin Kei was lying, looked at Lin Kei's sincere and unevasive eyes, and his heartbeat suddenly accelerated uncontrollably. A blush as beautiful as the sunset appeared on that beautiful cheek, making it even more breathtakingly beautiful. Hancock, who was clearly disgusted with men and was accustomed to leaning back and holding his chin high no matter who he faced, suddenly lowered his head involuntarily, not daring to look at Lin Kei anymore. It was as if Lin Kei's eyes were filled with electricity. However, Hancock raised his little hand, held Lin Kei's palm, and whispered, I promise you. Hancock just voted. If this scene were broadcast live, it would definitely shock the world. No one thought that the most beautiful woman in the world would be so easy to defeat. But it's normal in this world. Slaves in this world are the lowest level of society, and they are animals without human rights. Just like murlocs, slaves will also be discriminated against, especially the health of celestial dragons. Hancock, who had been a slave, even looked down on himself. So when someone helped her remove the slave mark without caring about her past, it was a blow. Especially when Hancock takes off her mask, she is an extremely innocent woman, and she is even more critical. The Hancock in the original work is so outrageous that after just one night, he was already in the late stages of lovesickness. This shows how innocent Hancock is. From the original work, she knows nothing about the relationship between men and women. The person she likes just calls her name and she almost faints with excitement. The most embarrassing scene she has ever thought of is getting married. It can be seen that Hancock is still completely innocent now. And now, this pure and innocent beauty, the most beautiful woman in the world, the Empress of 9 Snakes, is Lin Kei's possession. This is our new companion. I believe you are all familiar with her. After recruiting Hancock, Lin Kei immediately took her to meet Kurina and the other girls and introduced her to them. Nami and the other girls opened their mouths wide and looked at Hancock in stunned silence. Boa Hancock, the most beautiful woman in the world, the Pirate Empress, is actually our new member. I thought that Lin Kei just left suddenly to do something for Kurina and the girls, but they didn't expect that Lin Kei actually went to recruit new members, and she was one of the 7 warlords of the sea, recognized by the sea as the most beautiful woman in the world. Looking at Hancock, who is 1.91 meters tall and nearly 2 meters tall in high heels, which is slightly taller than Lin Kei, and the Nami girls who are also top-notch in beauty and figure, including Robin, who is as mature as Hancock, they all feel ashamed of themselves. It's not because Hancock is taller than them, it's not because Hancock's headlights are bigger than theirs, it's not because Hancock is stronger than them. But in terms of temperament, Hancock completely tortured them. Only Kurina in human animal form was slightly inferior to Hancock. Others have one or two temperaments, and they have to be switched and enlarged according to the matching of clothing. But Hancock has a variety of temperaments. He doesn't need any clothes, just one movement or a look, and he can be magnified to the ultimate by Paramesha Tiantiangwoshi. She is a beautiful lady with a stunning appearance and a hot figure, and with such a changeable temperament, she is simply a perfect goddess who combines all the favors of God. Not to mention men, even women will be moved by it and fall in front of Hancock's charm. My name is Boa Hancock, you can just call me Hancock. Hancock also took the initiative to say hello to Karina and the girls, but he was very cold and stiff. Although I was easily blown away by Lin Kei, I voted instantly. But in front of others, Hancock is still the superior pirate empress. If he hadn't understood the relationship between men and women, and hadn't recognized his own heart, Hancock would have been hostile to Karina and the other girls. Even now, Hancock is subconsciously rejecting Karina and the girls. But soon, this feeling of rejection disappeared. As the most difficult and easiest female character to conquer, Hancock not only knows nothing about the relationship between men and women, but also, like Robin and Perona, is a very loveless woman. She was kidnapped as a slave when she was a child and became an empress when she grew up. Her two younger sisters were also full of respect and fear for her. Growing up, Hancock had no so-called friends. No one in Daughters Island would dare to make friends with Hancock. So when Robin and Karina, who were good at sociability, took Nami and the other girls to ask Hancock to show their affection. The iceberg goddess who was getting along with her peers for the first time was quickly melted and turned into a sand sculpture goddess. In just 5 days, Hancock became close to Karina and the girls, replacing Robin as their eldest sister. The Karina girls, who had figured out Hancock's character and conduct in less than half a day, had no dissatisfaction or disgust with this airborne eldest sister. Because they were captured by Hancock's charm just like the Kuja warriors of Daughters Island, and they couldn't be angry with this sister at all. Moreover, both Karina and Nami are self-aware. Hancock, who also masters Conqueror's Haki and is powerful, is more suitable to be Lin Kei's deputy than them. Since then, the vice-captain of the Puncture Pirates has been in place. The time has come when all members of the Puncture Pirates and Blackbeard Pirates are wanted, and bounty orders are spread around the world. Lin Kei, you have a bounty on your head. Wow, so many zeros, your and Teach's bounty has broken the record. We also have a bounty on our head, but why is my title still Little Thieving Cat, but Karina is Nine-Tails Fox? And my bounty is only 50 million belly, but the vixen has 250 million belly. There are 200 million more profits than me. When that vixen comes back, he will definitely laugh at me. The sailboat was sailing on the vast sea, and Lin Kei was swimming in the open-air swimming pool. Hancock wanted to see it but didn't dare to look openly, so he could only peek over from time to time. This contrasting and adorable look was so cute. Nami, on the other hand, took today's world economic news and the reward order sandwiched inside the newspaper. First he told Lin Kei the good news, and then he went crazy. Robin, who was sitting under an umbrella and flipping through a book, smiled without raising his head. Maybe your thunder fruit hasn't been exposed yet. After all, Karina and Nakigo's devil fruit have already been displayed in front of the whole world. Quote, that's absolutely true. Nami nodded vigorously and said, if I expose thunder fruit's ability, the vixen's bounty will never be comparable to mine. Squeak, whose bounty can't compare to yours? At this moment, an air door appeared out of thin air, and Karina, who had transformed from beast form back to human animal form, came out and asked curiously. Behind her was Nuo Chigao with a smile on his face. At this time, Nuo Chigao was holding a devil fruit in his hands. Nami was afraid that Karina would laugh at her, so she quickly walked up to Nokigao and asked, changing the subject, is this devil fruit the artificial devil fruit that Wood Clone found in New World? Robin finally put down his book, stood up and walked over. He looked at the devil fruit in Master Nuoki's hand and sighed, I didn't expect that the secret treasure of the sea can be man-made. The person who created this devil fruit must be a very great scientist. Looking at Lin Kei, who came up from the outdoor swimming pool and took the towel from Hancock to wipe himself, Karina couldn't help but ask, Lin Kei, do you know what the ability of this artificial devil fruit is? Quote. Lin Kei, who was only wearing a pair of swimming trunks, tied a towel around his waist, then took the devil fruit from Nokia Gao, and smiled without any concealment. This is an artificial phantom beast species. It was extracted from the 4 emperors by the scientist Vegapunk. Artificial zone, fish fruit, phantasmal beast species, and blue dragon form made from Kaido's blood factor. Hearing this, Karina and the other girls suddenly took a breath of air. I didn't expect this artificial devil fruit's ability and origin to be so amazing. Lin K didn't give them a chance to make a speech, and gave the captain's order. The most critical devil fruit has finally been obtained. We should recruit the most suitable host for it. When sending the Blackbeard pirates away in the Devil's Triangle, Lin K had separated 3 wood clones with huge amounts of chakra. These 3 wood clones worked together, 2 in the first half of the Grand Line, and 1 in the second half of the Grand Line. The 2 wood clones in the first half were responsible for monitoring Luffy and Teach, the 2 children of destiny, so that Lin K could successfully obtain the Logia Thunder Fruit. The wood clone in the second half went to find Punkhasa Island. Punkhasa Island is the ice and fire island in the original work, and it was also the base of Garpunk's laboratory. Until 2 years ago, Gaisa Kalang developed a poisonous gas monster called Death Kingdom, which turned Punkhasa Island into a dead island, and 2 of the 3 research institutes were blown away. This behavior also caused Gaisa to be arrested by Marine, but he successfully escaped from the prison ship with the ability of 743 to borrow the Logia gas fruit, and the bounty was directly 300 million Baileys. Last year, Gaisa returned to Punkhasa Island, which had become a poisonous gas island, and purified the highly toxic materials here, and began to produce artificial devil fruit and research jontization, as well as large-scale development of the Death Kingdom. After obtaining the Paramesha Gate fruit from Teach, Lin K immediately asked Wood Clone to enter the New World, find this island, sneak into Gaisa's room that specifically stores the failed, artificial devil fruit, and obtain the artificial fantasy beast Qinglong form stored in the glass tank. After recruiting Hancock, Lin K asked Karina to take Nohigo to the New World to get the artificial fantasy beast species Qinglong form from Wood Clone. The artificial fantasy beast species Qinglong form is the world's first artificial devil fruit, and it is a failed product that Vegapunk spent more than 10 years to research. The reason for being defined as a failed product is very funny, that is, the dragon that eats this devil fruit is not a Qinglong. For such a funny reason, Vegapunk threw the devil fruit in the laboratory, neither giving it to the world government nor taking it to the island of the future, making it a bargain for Momosuke who traveled from the past. Lin K, who has read the original work, knows very well that Vegapunk did not fail. He really copied the mythical beast species devil fruit, which is rarer than Logia. The artificial mythical beast species blue dragon form has the same ability as the mythical beast species blue dragon form. This artificial mythical beast species can change fate like other mythical beast species, but if the person who eats this devil fruit is an upgraded human like Teach, or another race with a strong physique, he can also enter the perfect form immediately like the enlarged Momosuke. Lin K is going to recruit such a person now. In his opinion, no one is more suitable to be the host of the artificial mythical beast species blue dragon form than that person. The Fishman Island under the Sabayati archipelago 10,000 meters is in chaos at this time. As chaotic as it is, there are also those islands in New World with the flags of the Whitebeard pirates. As the world's strongest pirate group, the Whitebeard pirates also have the biggest piece of cake in the New World. Now that Whitebeard is dead, these pieces of cake have lost their owners, and will naturally be scrambled by the big pirate groups in the New World. Not to mention the big pirate groups, even the 4 emperors have also fallen. The Fishman Island, which used to be safe and sound because of Whitebeard's flag, has now lost its backer. When thinking of the price of those mermaids in the black market, the pirates who entered the Fishman Island with the coating could not help but feel greedy. So in the past few days, there were pirates burning, killing and looting everywhere in the Fishman Island. Fortunately, the guards of the Fishman Island were not vegetarians, and those pirates did not succeed. However, there are casualties in the battle. In just a few days, many civilians in the Fishman Island were affected, and the guards also suffered a lot of casualties, which would make Neptune very worried. Although Sea Knight Jinbei was not killed by Lin K, he was also the only pirate who did not escape from prison. He did not meet Luffy, and was unwilling to accept the help of the traitor Teach, so he did not leave Impel down. Because of the 7 warlords of the sea, and the fact that Ryugu Kingdom is one of the allied countries, and for the sake of racial balance, the world government will definitely not do anything to Jinbei. Not only will they release him, but they will also keep Jinbei's Shichibukai title. But it will definitely take a lot of time for Jinbei to come back. During this period, Ryugu Kingdom can only carry it on its own. Even now, the 3 brothers of Poseidon Star are leading the Neptune's army to fight the pirates. Squeaka! A huge air door suddenly appeared on the battlefield. The Neptune's army and the pirates who were fighting subconsciously stopped their actions and cast their eyes. Many people who have watched the Summit War live broadcast felt that this air door was a little familiar, but they couldn't remember it for a while. But the next second, everyone on the field looked because after the huge door opened, a 9-tails fox more than 10 meters tall slowly walked out of the green alien space. On the top of the 9-tails fox, there was a figure of a young man sitting cross-legged. For this young man, everyone knows him. One of the 2 most dazzling protagonists of Summit War, the piercing Prince Lin Kei, whose bounty is even higher than that of Blackbeard Marshal D. Teach, who broke the world's rules. Lin Kei glanced at the battlefield and then released his perception technique. Then, he clapped his hands. Wood-style silent killing technique. In an instant, a large number of branches suddenly grew out of the battlefield below in various places on the Fishman Island, like ropes, tying up all those whose body energy reached a certain threat level. These branches appeared very suddenly, and seemed to have self-awareness. Those who did not react, or those who reacted but were caught by the branches, were all tied up like dumplings. The moment they were entangled by the branches, everyone's energy was rapidly draining away, and they lost their ability to fight in the blink of an eye. Lin Kei, who killed everyone in one move, just stood up slowly, looking down at the fishmen and pirates who had lost their ability to fight but not lost consciousness, and said lightly, "From now on, the Fishman Island is my territory." ZZ. The moment Kei finished speaking, Nami's wrist immediately turned into electricity and disappeared. A bolt of lightning struck down, turning the flag of the Whitebeard pirates, which no one dared to overthrow, into ashes. Your Excellency Lin Kei, thank you for your help. In the drawing room of the Dragon Palace Kingdom, Lin Kei and Neptune were having a conversation alone. Neptune, who was only 12 meters tall, bent down to Lin Kei, who was only 1.9 meters tall, with a grateful look on his face. Looking at Neptune, who was lowering his posture, Lin Kei smiled playfully and said, "It is said that you drank the sworn wine with Whitebeard. I thought you would resist with all your strength. If I were not the king, I would definitely resist with all my strength, but I am the king of the Fishman Island, and this status prevents me from doing so." Puton said honestly. "Yes, you are quite sensible." Lin Kei nodded with satisfaction and said, "From now on, you can use my flag as you like. If anyone dares to ignore it, you can call me and I will teach them how to behave." "Thank you so much." Neptune bent down again, and then asked, "I wonder what price we need to pay." "I don't need money, I just want to be alone." Lin Kei didn't sell it, and directly stated the purpose of this. "I want your daughter, the famous Princess Shirahoshi, to become my 24th crew member." Shirahoshi. Neptune's expression changed, and he immediately shook his head and said, "No, I can't come up to you and take away Shirahoshi. King Neptune, you have to understand one thing." Since Karina and the girls were not around, Lin Kei did not show his gentle side, but said forcefully, "I am informing you now, not negotiating terms with you." Neptune's face froze, and he wanted to struggle. "It's not that I don't want to, but Shirahoshi can't leave the hard-shell tower for some reasons. Even me, as a father, and her brothers are also very reluctant. It's hard to see her." "Oh," Lin Kei asked knowingly, "what's the reason?" Neptune said truthfully, "There is a fish man who ate the Paramesha target fruit. He has been threatening me to let Shirahoshi marry him, otherwise he will kill Shirahoshi. We don't know when he left the mark on Shirahoshi's body. But with his fruit ability, he can throw weapons anywhere, and those weapons will fly in front of Shirahoshi. Because the man could never be found, we kept Shirahoshi in the shelter all these years. So Shirahoshi can't come out, otherwise if that person finds out, he will kill Shirahoshi by any means necessary." Quote. "I see." Lin Kei pretended to be enlightened. But the next second, he smiled disdainfully and said, "I know the target fruit, This ability is indeed unexplainable in some aspects, but if it is just an ordinary weapon, it is impossible to fly from land to the Fishman Island 10,000 meters below. This means that the Fishman will not be in the sea above 10,000 meters, but should be in the dark deep sea area, maybe not too far from the Fishman Island. Neptune said with a wry smile. We have also analyzed this and have gone out to look for each other more than once. However, the deep sea area is too big. It is too difficult to find someone in the dark deep sea. Piece of cake. Lin Kei smiled confidently and said, do you have a photo of him? I will help you get rid of him, so you can rest assured and let Princess Shirahoshi go to sea with me. Neptune only hesitated for a few seconds and nodded. He didn't know if Lin Kei could find Vanderdaken X. But he knew that if Lin Kei wanted to take Shirahoshi away, there was nothing he could do. Rather than being taken away after resisting, with the possibility that Shirahoshi would become a slave from a crew member, it would be better for Shirahoshi to leave with Lin Kei as a crew member and partner. And rather than staying in the hard shell tower all the time, it might be a good thing for Shirahoshi to go out and see the world. As long as Shirahoshi's secret is not exposed, then she will not be in danger, and no one can snatch the White House away from Lin Kei. Quote. Very good, that guy's body will appear in front of you soon. After receiving the photo of Vanderdecken X from Neptune, Lin Kei immediately separated a wood clone and asked the wood clone to find and eliminate Vanderdecken X, and then said to Neptune, where is Princess Shirahoshi? Let me go see her. After finishing speaking, Lin Kei added, don't worry, I won't bring Princess Shirahoshi out before I deal with that guy. If I can't deal with that guy, I won't take Princess Shirahoshi away. My flag will be free for you to use. When Lin Kei mentioned this, Neptune naturally had no reason to refuse. Shirahoshi is in the hard shell tower, I'll have someone take you there. Under the guidance of the escort, Lin Kei quickly arrived at the door of the hard shell tower. The two doors, which are more than 10 meters high, are covered with traces of cold weapons. It can be seen that Vanderdaken X threw 10 weapons every once in a while. But that guy would soon have no chance to throw the weapon. Trying to find a person in the dark depths of the sea is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Even if Paramesh's farsightedness has a radius of 4,000 kilometers, it would be difficult to locate Vanderdaken X if there is no light source around him. Even Nami's only observation haki is helpless. Except Lin Kei. Again, although perception technique is not as easy to use as observation haki, it does not have as many functions as observation haki. But the range of perception is completely observation haki. Senju Hashirama's template has been unlocked to 80%, and Lin Kei's current perception technique can cover a very exaggerated range. Original Thousand Hands Tobarama can sense the chakra and life strength of enemies thousands of miles away by just touching the ground with his 2 fingers. Lin Kei's wood clone also only needs to reach out and touch the seawater to sense the body energy and haki intensity of thousands of kilometers in radius. Although there are countless creatures in the deep sea, as long as the body energy of Vanderdecken X is compared with the fishmen of the Fishman Island, wood clone can quickly locate him. From the moment of the wood clone operation, Vanderdale X has begun the countdown to his life. Entering the hard shell tower through the gap in the door, Lin Kei quickly saw Shirahoshi, who was only 14 years old this year and was also the host most suitable for the artificial fantasy beast species, the green dragon form. Yes, the host Lin Kei chose for the artificial phantom beast, the blue dragon form, was Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi, who grew to 11.87 meters tall at the age of 16, has a physical fitness that is no less than that of an ordinary giant. Her race is a giant mermaid. Whether it is the color of her hair or the color of her tail, she looks like an artificial fantasy beast. The pink color of the blue dragon shape is very suitable. As long as Shirahoshi eats the artificial phantom beast's blue dragon form, he will jump over the dragon gate and transform directly from the fish into a dragon, just like the legend. And it's a complete dragon. When she awakens the power of Poseidon, she will truly be the strongest creature on land, sea, and air. So no one is more suitable for this pink man-made phantom beast, the blue dragon form, than Shirahoshi. Arnold, who are you? Shirahoshi was not sleeping at this time. So the sound of opening the door quickly attracted the attention of the mermaid princess. Looking at Lin Kei walking in from outside, Shirahoshi asked timidly. But judging from her appearance, she doesn't seem to be afraid of Lin Kei. In addition to being one of the 3 ancient weapons Poseidon, Shirahoshi is also the only chosen one in a billion, possessing the innate observation haki, which is even rarer than Conqueror's haki. Just like the Red Earl and Princess Otahime, Shirahoshi can hear other people's thoughts and can tell at a glance whether they are good or bad. As for Shirahoshi, who is pure at heart, the way to distinguish a good person from a bad person is very simple. That is to see whether the other person is full of goodwill towards you or full of malice towards you. Vanderdecken X was full of malice and greed towards Shirahoshi, so Shirahoshi refused his proposal and was so afraid of him. Lin Kei, on the other hand, is full of goodwill towards Shirahoshi. So in Shirahoshi's eyes, Lin Kei is like the sun, exuding warm light. Even if it's just their first meeting, Shirahoshi is not afraid of him. But maybe it was a habit. Shirahoshi still pulled up the quilt, revealing only the upper part of his head, with a pair of beautiful blue eyes, looking at Lin Kei curiously. "Hello, Princess Shirahoshi." Lin Kei suddenly came to the desk beside the bed, waved to Shirahoshi and said, "Hello, my name is Lin Kei, please give me your advice." "Hello, I'm Yu Xing." Very polite Shirahoshi responded subconsciously. Then looking at Lin Kei's legs, Shirahoshi's eyes suddenly lit up, and he asked with a slightly excited look, Master Lin Kei, are you human?" Lin Kei nodded and said with a smile, "Well, I come from a land 10,000 meters above." "Really?" Shirahoshi immediately got out of the quilt, grabbed the edge of the bed with both hands, put his head in front of Lin Kei, and asked excitedly, "Master Lin Kei, have you ever seen the real sun, flowers and animals?" "Of course, everyone on land has seen it." Lin Kei slowly narrated. "And there are all kinds of incredible islands on the land, such as the water city that looks like a fountain, the winter island that snows all year round, the island that looks like a cactus, and there are also a lot of ancient people living there. I have seen the prehistoric island with animals and the sky island at an altitude of 10,000 meters. I'm so envious." Shirahoshi's eyes lit up and he said with longing. With her natural observation haki, she knew very well that Lin Kei was not lying. There really was such an island on land. Shirahoshi, who was already longing for the land, wanted to go up there and have a look. But the next second, Shirahoshi's eyes dimmed. She couldn't leave the hard shell tower without solving the problem of Vanderdecken X. She couldn't even attend her mother's funeral that year. "Do you really want to go out and take a look?" Lin Kei suddenly asked. Shirahoshi nodded first, then shook his head and said, "I can't go out, otherwise my father and brother will worry about me." "Don't worry, you'll be out soon." Lin Kei smiled and said, "I have sent people to find Vanderdecken X. I believe there will be results soon." "Really?" Shirahoshi's beautiful eyes lit up instantly, and he looked at Lin Kei expectantly. "Then can I leave the hard shell tower and worship my mother in the forest of the sea?" "Not only can you go to the sea forest, you can also go to land with us." Lin Kei extended his palm to Shirahoshi and said with a smile, "Let me introduce you again, my name is Lin Kei, I am the new protector of the Fishman Island, and I am also your captain." "Really, Master Lin Kei, you want to take me to land?" Shirahoshi's beautiful eyes brightened even more. The simple mermaid princess doesn't know or care about the meaning of Lin Kei's last sentence. She will only judge based on the innate observation haki, knowing that Master Lin Kei is a good person, and is now helping her get rid of the trouble of Vanderdecken X, and also wants to realize her dream and take her to the land. Therefore, Shirahoshi's affection for Lin Kei is gradually increasing. Lin Kei nodded and said, "Of course, we will be companions and friends from now on." "Friend?" Shirahoshi was stunned for a moment, then asked excitedly, "Master Lin Kei, do you want to be Shirahoshi's friend?" "What, Shirahoshi, aren't you willing to be friends with me?" Lin Kei asked teasingly. No, it's not." Shirahoshi shook his head repeatedly and his voice became stuttering. Looking at Lin Kei with a smile on his face and his sincere emotions, Shirahoshi's eyes suddenly became moist, and then he stretched out his fingers to touch Lin Kei's palm, and said with a choked voice, I do." Quote, "If you didn't know this scene, you might have thought it was a marriage proposal." Who would have thought that Shirahoshi would cry with joy just after making a friend? Among the 3 official beauties, Hancock and Shirahoshi are the easiest to capture. However, if you want to conquer Hancock, you must have a certain level of strength, otherwise you may be petrified by her before you even open your mouth. In addition to strength, you also need to have qualifications. This qualification must be that you are not afraid of the celestial dragons, or that you can help her remove the mark of the flying dragon's hooves, and that you will not look down upon her for having been a slave. Without certain strength and qualifications, Hancock is the most difficult person to defeat. Among the three stunning beauties, only Shirahoshi is the easiest to conquer. Because Shirahoshi stayed in the hard shell tower at the age of 6, her mind didn't grow much at all, she was just a kind and cute child. It's just that this good kid has a special ability and can see the good and evil of a person. If you want to guide Shirahoshi song, you just need to be sincere. This is simply what Lin K does best. Lin K has always been sincere towards the female characters he likes. Because he not only wants to get their people, but also wants to get their hearts. So in Shirahoshi's eyes, Lin K is now a good person exuding golden light, a hero from the sky who reaches out to pull her out of the darkness, and her 10th friend. Staying in the hard shell tower, her beauty is still spread all over the world, praised and evaluated by the world. Even if she faces the world's most beautiful woman, the mermaid princess will not lose. This is how she got it. Recruiting difficulty is as easy as Hancock. Just like Hancock, the favorability level is at full level just after joining. Unlike Karina and the others, there is still a gap that takes some time to resolve. Just when Lin K easily recruited Shirahoshi, Wood Clone also easily eliminated Vanderdecken X. When Wood Clone brought the body of Vanderdecken X to Neptune, Lin K also came out of the hard shell tower with Shirahoshi. Looking at the body of Vanderdecken X on the ground, Neptune fell into silence. Is this the difference between the strong and the super strong? For 8 years, the Ryugu Kingdom has been searching for Vanderdecken X all the time. Even Jinbei of Shichibukai has entered the dark deep sea area many times and returned without success. Lin K only came to the Fishman Island for less than 2 hours and solved the problem that they had not found for 8 years. This speed not only made people feel stunned, but also made Neptune completely relieved. Let Shirahoshi follow such a strong man to the land world, and he no longer has to worry about his daughter's safety. After Shirahoshi came out of the hard shell tower, he first reunited with his father and brothers, and then he couldn't wait to go to the forest of the sea without worshipping his mother 10 times. Neptune was just about to ask the 3 Poseidon brothers to take Shirahoshi there, when Lin K said, "My companion also wants to go there to read the historical text, just let me take Shirahoshi there." "Then I'm sorry to trouble you, Your Excellency Lin K." Neptune nodded immediately. Shirahoshi asked expectantly, "Master Lin K, does Shirahoshi have any other companions?" Lin K smiled and said, "They are all very good people, Shirahoshi, you have to get along well with them." Didi. Shirahoshi nodded repeatedly, looking forward to it even more. "Where are they now?" "They were playing with our flag just now, and they should be shopping now." Lin K suddenly raised his head and said, "Did you hear that, Nami? Our new member wants to meet you." He'll be there soon." Nami, who was shopping with the Hancock girls and surrounded by petrified statues, immediately turned to Kaido with a smile. Not long after, Nami and the girls appeared in front of Lin K and Shirahoshi, holding a lot of lines and a large number of balloons filled with goods floating above their heads. "Is this the legendary mermaid princess? She's so cute. She's so beautiful. She is indeed a beauty who is as beautiful as Hancock's sister according to rumors." "Hello, Shirahoshi." Without Lin K's introduction, Nami and Karina took the initiative to express their affection for Shirahoshi. Just like they couldn't be angry with Hancock, they couldn't feel disgust or rejection when facing the lovely mermaid princess in front of them. If Shirahoshi had not been nearly 10 meters tall at the age of 14, but was the same as a 14-year-old human child, they would have taken Shirahoshi into their arms and ravaged him vigorously. "Hello, I'm Shirahoshi." Looking at the 6 Karina girls, except Hancock, who were all glowing with dazzling golden light, Shirahoshi timidly greeted them, but his beautiful eyes were shining brightly, and his heart was already blooming with joy. Sure enough, just like Master Lin K, her companions are also good people. Even the beautiful and cool eldest sister, although her light is not as dazzling as the others, she still exudes the light of goodwill. Shirahoshi's heart was filled with longing and expectation when he thought about getting along with this group of good people and heading to the land world together in the future. Looking at the scenery of beauties ranging from 1 to 7 children, Lin Kei smiled with a hint of contemplation in his eyes. After Shirahoshi eats the artificial mythical beast species, the blue dragon form, and completes the last part of the plan, his subordinates will increase, and it is time to change to a larger ship. Before, 7 women and 1 man stayed on a sloop, which was already very crowded. Now there is another Shirahoshi who is nearly 10 meters tall. Before leaving the Fishman Island, the sailboat must be changed. It turned out to be the pirate queen Boa Hancock. Neptune, who was secretly looking at Lin Kei's crew from behind, also recognized Hancock. Seeing that the pirate queen, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, is also Lin Kei's subordinate, Neptune believes more in what the newspaper said. Behind the piercing lord, there is a mysterious force. Or, in addition to these beautiful crew members, the piercing lord, Lin Kei has other affiliated pirate groups. If the pirate queen is really Lin Kei's subordinate, it means that the Amazon Lily Kingdom, on the daughter island, is one of his affiliated forces. And now, Human Island and Dragon Palace Kingdom will also become one of Lin Kei's subordinate forces. It seems that one of the 2 protagonists of Summit War will soon dominate the sea and compete for the vacant emperor seat. After the self-introduction session, Lin Kei and his group flew directly to the sea forest. Yes, fly. And it was not flying with the help of bubbles, but flying to the sea forest with the sailboat lifted by the flame cloud. Karina has entered the human beast form, using the power of the cloud to lift the sailboat full of people on the deck, and controlling the flame cloud to fly in the direction pointed by Nami. The door fruit plus flame cloud flight. This is why Lin Kei and his group can easily come to the Fishman Island without coding. After arriving at the sea forest, Lin Kei's group dispersed, and Karina and several women accompanied Shirahoshi to worship Princess Otahime. Lin Kei took Robin and Hancock to the location of the historical text. While Robin was immersed in the ancient text, Lin Kei and Hancock were chatting not far away. Hancock, are you willing to bring the Amazon Lily Kingdom to become my subordinate? Lin Kei's words confirmed Neptune's guess. Of course, since I am your subordinate, everything in my body is yours. Hancock, who has a full favorability value if he surrenders, nodded without hesitation. If he hadn't recognized his own heart and didn't know that his favorability towards Lin Kei was love, Hancock would have shown the appearance of a dog licker. Even so, Hancock's face is now flushed, and his body exudes a soft special effect light, and his beautiful eyes are shining as he looks at Lin Kei. This look, compared with the arrogance and indifference when facing other people, and the image of a big sister who is full of majesty even in front of Nami and other women, is simply an extreme difference in bed. It must be said that this kind of privilege and welfare that belongs to oneself, and the other party is the world's most beautiful woman, really makes people feel flattered. Lin Kei, who is essentially a vulgar person, will be killed in seconds if he is hit by the negative ghost, and will also be killed in seconds if he is hit by Mero Mello, is now very enjoyable in his heart. However, on the surface, he was talking in a teasing manner. You have privately decided to bring your country to become my subordinate power. Will your country's top leaders object? Will they be unhappy? No, because Hancock shook her head and habitually made a hair-flicking gesture, and said in a haughty way, no matter what I do, they will forgive me. The charm was magnified to ultimate by the sweet fruit, and the special effects around Hancock became more exaggerated. An invisible force of rules made Lin Kei's mind dazed for a moment, and his blood was boiling. If the relationship had not been confirmed, Lin Kei would not be able to help it, and now he would study the specific writing methods of the profound text with Hancock. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Just when Lin Kei was about to have an affair with Hancock and wanted to tease this innocent empress, Robin's voice suddenly reached their ears. Looking at Robin with a smile on his face, Lin Kei asked knowingly, how is it? Is it the blank 100-year history you want to know? It is, but it is not. Robin shook his head and said, the content of this historical text is actually an apology essay for the mermaid princess. The protagonist is none other than Joey Boy whom you mentioned, Lin Kei. Is it Joey Boy again? It seems that hundreds of years ago, this big man brought such a shadow to the world government that his name was erased from history. After Lin Kei finished sighing, he brought another piece of good news to Robin. My wood clone discovered a sky island, and there is also a historical text on it. I will take you to see it after I finish the business. Good. Robin nodded with a smile and looked at Lin Kei with soft eyes. You are still so reliable. As one of the first crew members to follow Lin Kei, Robin is also one of the people who knows Lin Kei best. If we were to say who in the crew had the biggest estrangement against Lin Kei at the beginning, it would definitely not be the extremely flexible Karina, but the enhanced version of Karina. 20 years of being on the run have made Robin develop a suspicious character. Even if she heard the conversation between Lin Kei and Cobra, Robin was shocked, but she was still wary of Lin Kei. After all, she knows the perception of the strong all too well. Why did Lin Kei's words happen to be overheard? Thinking about the worst, Lin Kei might have done it on purpose. However, after getting along for some time, and after the incident of Bluno being arrested, Robin's closed heart was opened a little, and he developed a good impression of Lin Kei. But there is still a little gap. It wasn't until several months of getting along in the Devil's Triangle that Lin Kei's strict demands on them completely eliminated Robin's defenses. Witnessing how Lin Kei captured Karina's heart, and how he gained the admiration of the Perona girls, and has been planning hockey training methods and top-notch devil fruit for them, Robin's affection for Lin Kei has slowly risen to an extremely exaggerated extent. Sincerity is a surefire skill. Lin Kei's behavior and dedication along the way are so sincere that he can't pretend to be. He is what Saul said was willing to protect her, and he is also the companion that Robin has been longing for since she was a child. So unknowingly, Robin was no longer so enthusiastic about the pursuit of historical texts. She prefers this big family to the historical text and wants to sail with family members like Lin Kei and Nami. Now Robin no longer lives for his mother's wishes. Instead, he lived his own life called Nico Robin. Lin Kei didn't know this, otherwise he would be very happy and full of accomplishment. Finally another fruit has been produced. All it takes is an atmosphere to pick. Time flies and it comes 5 days later. Although Shirahoshi was recruited, Lin Kei did not take her away from the Fishman Island immediately. Instead, he gave Shirahoshi a few days to get together with the three brothers Neptune and Poseidon. At the same time, Lin Kei and his group also stayed in the Dragon Palace Kingdom as guests. During the day, I went shopping with Karina and the girls to buy some specialties that are only available on the island. When Karina and her girls discovered that the jewelry on the Fishman Island was very cheap, they went shopping like crazy. In the evening, Lin Kei and his group discussed how to design a new ship. When they heard the news that Lin Kei wanted to change ships, Karina and the other girls all raised their hands in approval. Although the atmosphere of the boat is warm and feels like home. But a boat is a boat after all, and the number of rooms is limited. At the beginning, when there were only 4 or 5 people, it was barely enough. After the number of people increased to 7, it became very crowded and 2 people needed to share a room. Especially Lin Kei, Vivi and Nami, these 3 idiots, sometimes they can't control their voices when they are playing crazy, and they disturb the people by telling them what time in the morning. The soundproofing was average, and Robin and his wife shared a room. Not only could they not sleep, they were too embarrassed to move, and they would wake up every morning with faint dark circles under their eyes. Although the 3 of them, Lin Kei, have become thicker and thicker. From being too embarrassed to go out in the beginning, to laughing with them in embarrassment, to not caring in the end, they have become immune to the eye attacks from Robin and the other girls. Asterisk 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 asterisk. But if the sailboats were bigger, they wouldn't affect the lives of Robin and his daughters. Nami was in charge of the painting, and Karina and the other girls provided suggestions, and the design of the new boat was quickly completed. On this day, Lin Kei came to an open space. He clapped his hands and yelled, "Wood-style shipbuilding technique." A large number of branches grew out, quickly forming a large 3-masted sailboat. This sailing ship is hundreds of meters long, dozens of meters wide, and the main mast is also hundreds of meters high. However, since it is made of branches, there are no internal organs inside, so a shipbuilder needs to be hired to decorate it. The Fishman Island also has a shipyard, and there is a shipbuilder who is Master Tom's brother. In the next few days, Nami and her daughters invited a decoration team to carry out major renovations on the new ship. First, paint the sailboat white, then hang canvas on the 3 masts, spread lawn on the floor, turn the cabin rooftop into a little garden, etc. After installing drainage and water purification systems inside the cabin, Karina and her girls went shopping to decorate the interior of the cabin extremely luxuriously. Girls who are not short of money are very picky about expensive furniture and decorations. Even if a total of 1.5 billion belly is given to Teach and Gecko Moria, Lin K and his gang will still be rich, because Lin K's deposits in the bank are also in 10 figures. After leaving the Fishman Island, Lin K is also planning to go to Sky Island to collect all the gold on Apayado. As long as they get the Golden Land, money is just a set of cold numbers to them. Another week has passed. Lin K and his team, who finally transformed the sailboat into a new home, took Shirahoshi to bid farewell to the three brothers Neptune and Poseidon, flew directly into the different space with the flame cloud, and returned to the first half of the Grand Line from the Fishman Island. In order to fulfill Shirahoshi's wish, Lin K and his team took another trip along the original route, allowing Shirahoshi to see the Devil's Triangle shrouded in thick fog, the Seven Waters City like a fountain, and the residents' voices and animals were very long. Long Island, a rare super large island in the world, Shenkting Island. After more than a month, Lin K brought Vivi back to visit Cobra U. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.